All right, what's going on? Good morning, good morning, good morning to every single body that's in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on some background music real quick. As I'm putting on the background music, I'm just finishing getting the show ready to be started. So give me 1 second and appreciate everybody that's going to replay the show today. Appreciate anybody that's here on time. And then appreciate obviously the people that's going to be coming through today. So let me get this background music going and we're going to go ahead and kick the show off today. As always. What's good, Chan? I think I'm gonna have my camera on one of my phones and prop it up, sort of kind of still get like the feel. Let me see. Let's see how I can do it. Let's see how I can do it. Drew, is that Drew? Drew, you gotta get a mod. Yeah, you gotta get a mod ASAP. I was thinking about this yesterday. I was waiting for you to pop in here today. Shout out to you. You gotta get a mod ASAP. Are you a mod already? Oh, there you go. You a mod now. Shout out to Drew. Because I know you're gonna rock with back to stats regardless. What's good, Staff? Justin Crummer, what's good with you? Man, I miss you too, bro. Hope all is well with you. No funny. Hope all is well with you. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. I was a little behind today. I tried to make some oatmeal, and I messed up the oatmeal. Rushing to my freaking laptop, so nothing is set up right now. So give me 1 second. Literally nothing is set up. Bear with me. Appreciate everybody that's in here so far this morning, by the way. Acting stats over everything. Shout out to y'all. I couldn't even put the right thumbnail on the joint because it wasn't even working. Talk about a start to a show. Bear with me, y'all. And again, good morning to every single body that's in here. Do not want to go another day without my phone. My camera being on. So I'm gonna try to prop my phone up, one of my phones up, and have my camera on that way, and go like that. So bear with me while I'm continuing to set up everything. And again, good morning to every single body that's in here so far. Whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, it's all the same for me. Y'all still gonna hear me talk, and whoever else may join the stage throughout the show today, talk as well. So. All right, sorry guys. Bear with Everald. Appreciate you all that's coming into the show today. We definitely will get started by at least 11:10. Everything should be good. I don't know why they not letting me change that thumbnail. I can't see none of the comments yet, by the way. Cannot see none of the comments yet as I'm multitasking, y'all. Cannot see none of the comments yet. Pacers win if Pally don't get hurt. Pacers win if Pally don't get hurt. Yeah, I mean, hey, no comment from me. You know, you never know what could happen. Yeah, I'm gonna be on 2K26 game. You took a long break from 2K. I ain't even hear about you this year, nigga. Remind me to get. I see you in here, right? Type something real quick so I can throw that model. So I can make sure you got mod, right? By the way, facts. Hit that like the button, y'all. Hit that like button. I know I fixed that. I fixed that. Wait, hold on. I'm about to fix that. I lied. I did not fix it. I'm about to fix it. So wait, when you on stage. So when you on stage, that's what happens. All right, let me mod my dog. How many? We got 37 subscribers on Twitch. Let's see if we can get to 50 by the end of this week. We got 37 subscribers on Twitch. Let's see if we can get to 50 by the end of this week. Let's see. All right, let me go back. All right, let me see. How does it look? Let me see if I can set this. Well, y'all can't even see me for it. I said it's going to be an echo. So my camera's going to go. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll figure that out in a second. I'll figure that out in a second. Nah, I don't want to do that. All right, I'll figure this out in a second. Hold on. Mute one. It was an echo. All right. All right, y'all. Sorry for the delay on the start time today. Bear with me. Yeah, his that looked really terrible for Hallie, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's so unfortunate. Let me stop the music, by the way. It's so unfortunate, man. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. First and foremost, good morning to everybody that's in here, right? Hold on. And let me tweet. The show is now live. 1 second. 1 second. Man, that threw me off yesterday, bro. That Hallie injury threw me off yesterday, bro. I can't even get my camera on, because if I have my camera on there, y'all gonna see the bottom part. I don't want y'all to see that. I don't want y'all to see that. Agent Zero, what's going on, my brother? Appreciate you. All right, y'all. So listen. Good morning. Good morning to every single body that's in here. If you're requesting to come up, I got you in a second. Good morning to every single body that's in here, right? Welcome back to another daily Facts and Stats show, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time until. I appreciate you all, as always, for rocking with Facts and Stats, for supporting Facts and Stats. Listening to Facts and Stats, joining the stage and talking sports with me and the community. Just everything. You know, pretty much is everything. Everything in Facts and Stats relations. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to everybody that was able to make the cookout and come to the cookout. Truly meant a lot to me to be able to meet some of the folks that I talk to on a day-to-day basis in person, and then even some of the ones that I even already met before. I'm so mad that this laptop camera is so so terrible, bro. And then I can't even prop my phone up the way I want to prop my phone up for y'all to be able to see me. I can't even prop my phone up the way I want to prop it up. 1 second, let me try it. Let me see what it look like. Because I genuinely just prefer to host my camera on. Now that the cookout is behind me, I'm going to find the best computer that works for me, I feel like, or try to. All right, so if I do this, let's see something. Can I do? Like, can I rock with that? DY, what's good? Can I rock with that, y'all? Or it's like a nah, just let it be. All right. It looks solid. All right, I can rock with this. All right. All right, cool. So now let me lock in now. Appreciate everybody that was here, like I was saying. Everybody that was able to come through to the cookout. Thank y'all for the support. It meant a lot. If you were not able to come to the cookout, I understand. People go through things. People couldn't make it, or people had plans, or whatever the case may be. But it was a great time. It was a great time. It was great vibes. Even after the cookout, bowling. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that came through, truly, thank y'all for the bottom of my heart. Bruh, this is my first day ever, or my first time ever doing a live stream on Twitch. Let me know if y'all heard echo too. This is my first time doing a live stream on Twitch, right? With I hear myself. I can't turn all the way down, come on stage. Anyways, this is my first time doing a live stream on Twitch, right? People call it IRL streaming. IRL is in real life streaming. And bro, thank y'all. Because one thing I know about y'all, or the fact that that's community for the most part, y'all gonna support. Y'all gonna support whatever I do. Y'all gonna support whatever platform I go to, and y'all just gonna support. Y'all just gonna support. Bro, my first Twitch live stream, non-gaming related. My first live stream, non-gaming related. We maxed out at 62 viewers. 62 viewers. And I throughout the cookout, for the most part, it was between 40 to 50. Right? I just want to say thank y'all. AR's play was good with you. I just want to say thank y'all. Everybody that came through to the cookout, everybody that donated to the cookout, you know who you are. If you donated anything, we greatly appreciate it. It was definitely useful. I'll say that. And I feel like everybody that ate or came had a good time, regardless. I hear my echo. I don't know if y'all can hear it. I'm gonna stop real quick. Can y'all hear my echo? Can y'all hear my echo? Just real quick before I continue. Can y'all hear my echo? Just real quick. Let me know in the chat real quick if y'all can hear my echo. Let me know in the chat real quick if y'all can hear my echo. Barely. Okay. I know why I can hear it. I just want to know if y'all can hear it too. But I do know why I can hear it. All right. So yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah. Basically, thank y'all for coming to the cookout, right? And it was amazing. The whole weekend for me was amazing. The cookout, bowling. I went to the museum yesterday. We watched the game. We watched Game 7 together at the bar. Shout out to all of them. Ted, Shaggy, D-Mac B, Low, BJ, just everybody that came through to yesterday. So next year, It's gonna be bigger and better. Next year, I'm just early look. And I told y'all this last week. Next year, I'm thinking pool party / cookout. Next year, I'm thinking pool party / cookout. It's gonna be both. It's gonna be a mixture. Obviously, it'll be in June. The date that I'm looking at right now is gonna be June 13th or June 27th. Just early look. So I'm just giving y'all an early 1 year out. Here's up. But either way, some big news happened yesterday. Some big news happened yesterday, obviously, with Kevin Durant getting traded. And then on top of that, the Thunder winning it all and being champions, So we definitely want to talk about both of that today to get started. I did a space yesterday. The space happened at such a bad time for me. Literally such a bad timing because, like, I'm getting dressed to leave out the crib and the freaking trade happened. So the space was picking up momentum. I think I started the space off for like 10 minutes talking, right? Just giving my honest and my thoughts on it. The space was picking up momentum. And like 100-some people's in there. And then it ended because I had to disconnect from Wi-Fi because I had to get on the road. So that's what happened. That was a bummer. But either way, we're going to talk about it some more today. I plan on going live on Twitch more. So keep that in mind. Make sure y'all follow the Twitch. Let me just get down to everything. If you are in here, make sure y'all take, especially on the YouTube side of things. If you are in here on the YouTube side of things, make sure y'all take your shoes off at the door. What I mean by that is hitting the like button on this video. Hitting the like button on this video. That helps the algorithm out for anybody that's surfing on YouTube to come across Facts and Stats. And 1, be willing to listen. 2, be willing to come on the stage. 3, be willing to be a part of the community and just and listen on a day-to-day basis like majority of y'all do. Listen on the day-to-day basis like majority of y'all do. I hope I got my camera at a good angle. Like majority of y'all do. Also, make sure y'all comment throughout the show today. I read every single comment for the most part. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask it in the chat or come on the stage. Next, you can share this out one person today. I'm pretty sure if you share it out one person, they're more than likely be willing to come back around and listen to Facts and Stats on a day-to-day basis, or just come around and listen to Facts and Stats on another day. And last but not least, we are attacking 2 platforms. We are only attacking 2 platforms going forward. That is YouTube and Twitch. Twitch can become one. I like Twitch. I'm not gonna lie. I like Twitch. I love Twitch actually. I like YouTube. I love Twitch. Twitch can be one, but right now, as I'm still dealing with what I'm dealing with, YouTube and Twitch. I would have been on Twitch, but I cannot get y'all to come on the stage on Twitch without having been on the desktop and set up the OBS. So that's why. But either way, YouTube and Twitch, that is very, 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 very important. So make sure you all subscribe to the YouTube. Next, there are a couple of things you all can do to extend your support for the platform, which a lot of y'all do already. Whether it was on playback being a subscriber, whether it was a member being on YouTube, or whether it was a subscribing on Twitch. If you are in here, I would love for you all to become a member on Twitch. Become a member on YouTube and or a subscriber on Twitch. I think niggas was gifting subs and stuff like that at the cookout. So I'm at like what I say 34. I think 34 subscribers on Twitch. So we're gonna chase 50 on that. And then I don't know how many members I'm at on YouTube. Probably like 40. You still got to chase 50 on that too. So if you are in here, you are not a member on YouTube, I would love for you all to extend your support and become a member on YouTube. If not, you can choose to subscribe on Twitch. I would appreciate either one. Next, you can send super chats and super stickers at any time. And as you see on the back end, all extended support is appreciated. Also, make sure y'all follow the Twitter, the Instagram, and the TikTok. It's all at @FactandStats_. I posted a new picture today. Just quick glimpse of what went down or what went down, or just showing a photo of some of the folks that I was with at the cookout. Man, it was an amazing Saturday. It was an amazing experience. It was an amazing weekend. I do have, like, if I had to count, like 10 shirts left or something like that. So if you're in here and you do not have any Facts and Stats apparel, make sure you all check out the website. The website is factsandstats.us. The website is factsandstats.us. Make sure you all check out the website. Spurs, you just had your camera on. I see what you look like now. Okay. It's good to see what some of y'all look like. Okay. It's good to see what some of y'all look like. Check out the website. Last but not least, Facts and Stats expanded to Twitch. Make sure if you are in here, all links are in the description, by the way. The Twitter, the Instagram, the TikTok, link is in the description on this video. Link in the description on this video for the Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Link in the description on this video for the Twitch. Link in the description on this video to become a member on the YouTube side of things. So make sure you all hit the link in the description. Hit the link in the description, and I will definitely appreciate the support for anything you guys can do. Last but not least, playback. Playback is now down to just freaking WNBA games and baseball games. So you'll still see some baseball watch parties. You'll still see some WNBA watch parties. And that'll be that. So if you're in here and you want to sign up and join the Fact and Stats playback room, please feel free to do so. And you'll probably still see or hear some open talks, like whether it's anything, NBA, NFL, or just life-related things. You'll probably see somebody start that room for some open talks. And that's pretty much it. Unless I started for open talks or something like that. Make sure you all join the Discord. This is important. I feel like I'm rapping my best. I'm going to speed it up. Make sure you all join the Discord. It is important. As this helps, this will help you all be able to come on the stage when we do transition to Twitch, which will be happening sooner rather than later. So please do not forget that. And then last but not least, for anybody to get the show started, we're going to start it off the same way with the Who Sold Your Parlay segment. Shout out to you for doing this community. This is not easy to do. No, it's definitely not easy. Good things definitely take time. Y'all was lit on Saturday. Yeah, it was a good vibe, man. It was a good vibe for sure. Hopefully you can make the next one, brother. I damn near drive off the road trying to get to my lunch. I don't know how I don't think that sounds good.
It was during the when the KD notification pulled up.
Oh, I'm like, wait, hold on.
Nah, that was.
I was like, what? Hold on.
Like you were saying, it was terrible timing. It certainly was.
Yeah. That trade happened at a god awful time. Like the time was literally just terrible. But either way, we here nor there. We keep it going. It's definitely not easy to build this community up. So shout out to Chan, and it's definitely not easy to want to get a lot of people to come back and listen, whether it's to me or whether it's to other speakers. But putting the whole entire community together took time, and still is taking time, and still takes a lot of consistency and determination and God, to be honest. So if you are in here, make sure you hit that follow button on Twitch, and we'll get it off. Starting off, anybody for Who Sold Your Parlay. On top of Who Sold Your Parlay, any players of the day y'all want to show love to. I didn't even gamble yesterday. I couldn't even gamble yesterday. I didn't even get an opportunity to put in a parlay yesterday, unfortunately. So either way, that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. But whatever I would have bet on would have hit anyway. That's the hard truth. But what the hell? I don't know why that song just came on. But either way. Yeah, man. Who sold your parlay? Any players of the day? Who sold your parlay? Any players of the day? If you want to stage, you want to shout out anybody from a player, no matter what sport it was, WNBA, hockey, it's a WNBA, baseball, NBA Finals game last night. If you want to shout out anybody, feel free to shout them out, whether it's in the chat or on the stage.
Shout out, NECA had a really good game. Got to give her credit. Obviously, they were able to beat the Liberty without Sabrina and John Quill. So definitely got to tip a cap to that. And then two other ones real quick, like Mystics and Wings played a heck of a game that honestly I wish I would have been at. Them prices wasn't crazy for them tickets. But Paige had herself 29-7, a little inefficient. This game went to overtime. It was very entertaining, but Sonia Citron career high to this point because she's a rookie, 27 points, 11 rebounds. Her Kiki, they did their thing. And the Mystics are fun to watch because of their young talent for sure. Shakira Austin, coming off a really good game last game, had 21-7. So, Wings and Mystics was fun in the W.
Wait, what? We obviously going to get into that a little later on, but wait, she had 27 and 11 rebounds or assists?
11 rebounds.
How many assists?
Just two.
That was an efficient 27?
Yeah. 9 for 13, 4 for 7 from 3. She was knocking them down.
Yeah, she was cooking.
Bro, she's tough, bro. Who won?
She's super tough. The Mystics won by 3. The Wings had a chance. Enrique missed a 3. Paige had a desperation heave. It just couldn't tie it up at the end of overtime. But, it was entertaining. So
that's why I like the players of the day, because I find out stuff like that you just miss sometimes. Before I get to it. Max Muncy, 2 bombs and 7 RBIs yesterday. 7 RBIs yesterday. Shout out to him.
7 RBIs, dang.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. Hallie ankle sold my whole slip. I had him for 20 and 10. D-Sav, sorry to hear that, brother. All right.
I'm sorry to hear that for Hallie, but 20 and 10. Ooh, I I was
Nah, he was
ambitious.
gonna get that. He was gonna get that. He was cooking early in the
He
game.
did start off. He did start off hot, man. I feel so bad for Hallie, bro. He started off like he was ready to drop nuts, bro.
Yeah, he came out on time. And speaking of Holly, we can go ahead and circle right to that game. We got two OKC fans up here. I'm blessed and thankful to know them. And also, man, this is just a big thing. So I'm not even going to start talking first. I'm gonna pass it to establish it and my brother West, and then I'll come in on the back end because like winning your first uh, ring in your franchise history, obviously it became a thing. What like 08, 09, 08, I would say. That's nothing to like I know they feeling great right now. So established man, you can just talk about the whole entire season. You can talk about the series, and most important, you can just key in on Game 7 and just talk about how you feeling right now. And Wes, same to you.
You can go ahead, Wes, my brother. Well, never mind. Listen. I don't have a voice right now, brother. I that was a very euphoric moment last night. I must admit. Um, None of my professional sports teams have ever won anything in the time that I've been alive, and so for the Oklahoma City Thunder, a place where I've called home for 25 years, to finally pull it off as one of the smallest markets in the NBA. There's really no words for me to say right now. This season was probably the most fun I've ever had as a Thunder fan, to be honest. Um, yeah, there's really just no words. I don't really have words right now. Like the words aren't coming to my brain right now. So I, I don't know. We're 2025 NBA champions, and you can dislike how the team plays. You can say they foul all the time. You can say we only win because of the free throw line. But at the end of the day, we went through the playoffs. We went through the regular season, 68 win season, number one defense in the league. And yeah, man, it does a lot for Oklahoma City. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. I promised in playback that I would give the world a face reveal tomorrow at the parade at 10:30. That is what you guys will get. But that's all the words I have.
At the parade tomorrow.
Establishes this the damn that is a quick turnaround. Establishes the most fun you had as a sports fan of any team.
Yes.
Yeah, for your brother.
I,
Enjoy
I
it,
have
fam.
dealt with the heartbreak of Dallas Cowboys. I've dealt with the heartbreak of losing a 3-1 lead in 2016. I've dealt with not really knowing if I would ever see a championship in my life, and to finally have that, and to be from the city, to live in the city, it's second to none for sure. So um, a lot of people didn't even know what Oklahoma City was, and I'm glad that the Thunder finally put Oklahoma City on the map for the great city that it is. So see you guys tomorrow at 10:30 for the parade. Face reveal.
The parade is tomorrow.
The parade is tomorrow at 10:30.
God damn.
They had the buses ready, brother.
Yo, niggas can't even get a date to themselves. Well, I guess this today. Okay. All right. Fair. Why wait? I guess the way to look at it. If Wes is not active, I'm gonna go ahead and talk. Wes, you active?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. What's good, Birdie?
I'm chilling. Um, yeah, just you know, late night, early mornings. Excited to say the least. Um, yeah, like picking up off of where established, left off. To endure 22 and 24 win seasons, to endure, like he said, the 3-1 blown lead, to endure feeling like, yo, after 12, oh, we're gonna be here at least 3 more times. We gonna stack at least two of these hoes. Like we got Russ, Harden, and KD. And to have Harden get traded, to have Russ, hurt his knee as a result of Pat Bev being a dweeb and just a flat out weirdo back then. To have KD break his foot, um, and to just endure so many of the things we went through. Andre Robertson, completely blow out his knee. Like all these different things we dealt with To have Dame end an era like Dame ended Russ in OKC. Like think about how crazy that is, and think about how much that hurt as an OKC fan. And like I said, then 22 win season, a 24 win season, and to see Shea after those years just blossom into this all-time great player, to see Sam rebuild this thing on the fly, and go get us Chet, go get us J-Dub in a draft where people weren't like, nobody thought J-Dub was gonna be an all NBA player, or I think a lot of people, I won't say nobody, but a lot of people felt like, yo, he'll be a solid role player. But I don't think a lot of people felt like, oh, one day he could be the second best player on the championship team. And that's what he was this run. He was our second best player, and we won a championship, man. And I don't know that I felt, basketball joy to this level. Obviously, now, nothing will ever compare to my Yankees. And seeing us win in '09, and just some of the things that come along with the lore of the New York Yankees. But that said, man, it's a joyous times, and I think that it's been kind of bittersweet because I've had to deal with idiots and just straight up dweebs on the timeline, doing everything they can to poke holes in it. You just don't win this way. Oh, the Thunder they play the worst brand of basketball. Oh my God, how do you keep letting the game go on when a player pulls out their Achilles? So we're just gonna keep playing. We're just gonna continue to watch the game, huh? Act like nothing happened. You play the
Yeah, that
whole
was weird.
season for this moment, and now, oh, this happens, and we're just gonna keep going. Like it's been a lot of people. I think, acting out of character. But that said, man, whether it's the swipers of the world, the lame ass Laker fans, the weirdos in Denver, um, the Houston Rocket fans who think they can fuck with us, but they can't. Shout out to the chat. You know who you are. No matter how you slice it, we're the champs, nigga. We're the top dog. I respect the Celtics from last year. I respect the Pacers from this year. Everybody else, get down. You know what's up with us, man. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Niggas, I can't wait for Goods to come in here and run some laps. Niggas, oh, can you believe niggas said J-Dub was over K? Hold that, nigga. Hold it.
Bro.
Hold it. Relish in it, my nigga. Relish in it, my nigga.
They
All
said Goods
those,
had a curse,
oh,
Wes.
how can Shea be over Giannis? How can Shea be over Luka? Hold that, nigga. Hold that, nigga. Yeah, we champs,
I still
nigga.
like Kate
They
over
can't
J-Dub
take this
personally. It's
shit
just
from
me.
us, nigga. Stab, we champs, nigga. We the champions of the motherfucking world, nigga. Hold that. Sorry, YouTube, I'm cursing a lot, but we the champs. Hold it. Relish in it. And understand you gotta wait a year to even try to dethrone us. So for a whole year, you're gonna have to hear this shit. For a whole year, we gonna run it back on you pussies. And then we stacking it again next year. We doubling back next year. Who fucking with us next year? Luka and the Lakers without a center? No. The Rockets with Kevin Durant? No. The Grizzlies with John? No.
Nah, the Rockets got something for you. I'll be
Minnesota with
real.
Ant? No.
Nah, the Rockets are doing
Who
something.
fucking with us? Nobody. Nobody. Prayers up to Hallie. Hate to see that happen. Went out like a true champ, no. Respect. Speedy recovery. And I hope it doesn't fuck up their future. Respect the Carlisle. Respect the Siakam. And the Pacers, they fought. But we the champs, man. We got the banner. We excited, and we'll take this with class, with dignity, with respect to everybody.
Okay. Shout out to Wes. Can't be mad at it. Can't do nothing but respect it. To be honest. For me, I mean, majority of people know picked them to win it all year and never really changed my pick. Even at a point in time this season where fact and stats folks switched over from OKC to Boston. I was one of the few that still remained on OKC. So it was good ultimately to see them still win it out and pull it out personally. But I'm not gonna lie. Once Halliburton got hurt in that game yesterday, I did want to see if Indiana can pull it off. I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to see if they can do it. I didn't think it was realistic, but I wanted to see if they can pull it off. Halliburton, like Wes was just saying, I'll pick up right there. Speedy recovery, man. And it's crazy because they were saying on the broadcast before the game started, the analyst, like he knew what was at risk. He knew that this can be a potential Achilles thing, and then in the game it freaking happens. Like that's wild to me. Like it's wild to me. Like but for one, Halliburton, putting your health on a line like that because the moment and the stakes. Like you're in the NBA Finals. Like you can be a champion, and I really feel like the Indiana Pacers felt like they could beat OKC. Granted, nobody in the world coming into this series felt like this would be a 7-game series. Literally nobody. Nobody felt like this would be a 7-game series. And I do hope that doesn't alter his game too much, personally, when it comes to him recovering from that Achilles injury, because we know how it hampers or affects players. Even with him and Tatum both being young, it might, they can probably return back better from it than what Dame is next season, or even better than what KD did this past season or past couple of seasons, even though KD is still one of the best scorers in the league. You can see the first step in loss. So Indiana, I'm going to start on you guys' side first and foremost. Nembhard, Nesmith, Siakam would have been Finals MVP if they won. TJ McConnell, Obi Toppin, and I really don't want to say Miles Turner, and I really don't want to say Mathurin, really, to be honest, either. But just shout out to the whole entire mob. Shout out to the whole entire team that they put together this year. Shout out to the whole entire run they've been having this year. And it's sad because majority of people within the fact and stats community, and probably some analysts on TV and things of that nature, or reporters or things of that nature, they probably would have said the Pacers are going to be the favorites in the East next year. That probably going to be majority of people picked to go to the finals next year. And now this Halliburton injury pretty much wipes that out. The Tatum injury wipes out Boston. The Dame injury, in my opinion, wipes out Milwaukee. Right. So we looking at a really why. It's really the Cavs to lose, if you ask me. But then how would the Sixers look if Embiid is healthy? How would the Knicks get better? Would they come back better under new coaching? And also, with the Magic and Pistons taking another leap? So that's some of the things that I'm looking at. But as far as the OKC side of things, Jada, I personally always was a fan of the dude. He was hooping this series. Chet, I think over time he will become better offensively. This was only his second full season. So obviously he got to try to improve on shooting the ball well. He struggled from 3 this series and was not that good throughout this whole entire postseason from an overall perspective. But the rim protecting, I think he had 5 blocks last night. The altering shots, putting his body on the line, even as small as he is, rebounding, offensive and defensive throughout this series. He stepped up big time in that. A couple of games they lost early on in the series. To me, one of them games came down to Chet having no motor on the glass. Like him not attacking, him not making it a point of emphasis to make sure his presence is being felt in the game outside of scoring and probably blocking shots. Rebounding is the next big thing that he probably need to do, right? And also guarding in space. Because they switched up their coverages when it came to guarding Indiana. Sometimes they switched, sometimes they showed 2 on ball. But for the most part, they got to just being a switch-heavy team. And Indiana switched up, too, with their ball pressure when it comes to how they guarded SGA, full court, and then obviously in the half-court setting. I always felt like OKC, Indiana was in trouble this series because of the way that J-Dub was having so much success offensively. A 40 ball in the finals, like that's not something that you just say, oh yeah, it happened and you ignore it. I still bring up Devin Booker dropping 40 in the finals back to back. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. J-Dub fans can't forever bring up he had 40 in the finals. 40 in the finals. So, I think it was hard for him to stop.
Fans can forever bring up that he's a champion. That's what we can bring up.
You say he's 10th?
He's a champion.
Oh, yeah, that too. So it's an amazing thing to see. A team as young as they are, to be able to pull off what they did this year, throughout the regular season, throughout this playoff run, and then throughout the finals. And I love that J-Dub said yesterday, and I was watching some of the pressers. He was like it. The best thing about this season for them is when they stayed on the plane for hours talking, when they went out for team dinners after losses, when they spent a lot of time together watching film with him and Chet in their pick and roll game. You know what I'm saying? So he said that was the best part of the season for him, because he said he don't remember what happened last series, so he would just be able to soak in everything and just enjoy the journey personally. And, You know, they hit on two they hit on two offseason acquisitions. Let me say that. Caruso and Alhart. They don't win the championship out of either one of those guys. I want to make that very clear. They don't win the championship out of either one of those guys, especially Caruso. I mean, the defensive awareness and defensive IQ is ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous how he gets in lanes, how he can corral you, how he can rebound, how he can guard on ball, how he can. Caruso, he's literally a do-it-all player. But I'm going to give Caruso credit. SGA, one of the best seasons we've seen all time. One of the best seasons we've seen ever. I mean, Michael Jordan, like, that's what when you think of a season like this, you think of what Michael Jordan probably was doing, 30 years ago. This is a Michael Jordan-like season, bro. Scoring title, MVP, new trophy now, Western Conference Finals MVP, All NBA first team, All-Star, and now NBA champion and Finals MVP. While averaging 30 plus this season. I think 32 points this season, right? And I think he followed it up in the postseason as well. I think every series he upped his points per game, right? And on top of this past game, or the last thing I want to say about this game, he showed flashes, in my opinion, multiple times this series. He had some bad turnover games where he didn't read the floor too well, but in a couple of games this series, he read the floor really damn well. I think last night he had like 10 assists through 3. If I think I'm correct on that. I think he had like 10 assists through 3 or 8 assists through 3, something like that. It was a real good floor game for him. He shot the ball bad. Don't get me wrong. He shot the ball terrible. Him nor J-Dub shot the ball good yesterday. But it's about picking the spots, knocking down the shots in the moments. And they just shoot better at home. Casey Wallace, a player that's probably going to get swept under today. He was really good yesterday. Who else? I'm probably going to stop right there at Casey and just keep on rocking down. But what's up, Birdie?
I was just saying, shooting better at home is literally shooting league average, bro. It ain't even shooting great.
Yeah.
You're shooting 30% at home. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's really just hats off to them. And West. I'm not saying they're gonna repeat, and I'm not saying it at all. Obviously, West is saying who fucking with us. Appreciate that follow, man. Appreciate that follow on Twitch. But I mean, West got the right to do that because listen, guys, every single body that's on their roster right now that we just saw play basketball this season, they're under contract next season, guys. Everybody that we just saw on this roster this past season, they're under contract next season. I want to make that very clear. On top of that, now it's more of a problem. They have 2 first-round picks this year, 2 top 24 picks. They can do whatever they want to do. Whatever they want to do. I'll be surprised if they draft at both spots. But they can do whatever they want to do. I'm calling Brooklyn. What can I do to get Cam Johnson? And Brooklyn already has an array of first-round draft picks. But you know what I'm saying? Just throwing out some. They can call anybody and try to get any guy. They obviously need to target outside shooting. I think they know that. J-Dub does a great job at getting downhill and shooting in the mid-range area. Up and down from a three-point shooter, but he's still a good shooter, in my opinion, right? SGA, we know what he does. Operate in the mid-range game, A+ level. Get to the free throw line. Get buckets. Appreciate that sub, man. Thank you. Appreciate you gifting him a sub. J-Dub, get buckets, right? And now they need consistent shooting from the outside. You can get your iffy Lou Dort games. You can get your iffy Caruso game. You can get your iffy Casey Wallace games. And as great as he is as a player, he's not a good or a great three-point shooter in SGA. So that's why, like, you can always improve on that aspect. And I think they know that. They will target somebody this offseason, and they will get better. OKC will get even better next year. So it really comes down to, like, what are other teams going to do in the West that's going to try to match their energy or get up to where they are. Shout out to Indiana. A lot of teams don't operate and have an offense and have a team like Indiana in the West. Let's be real. I don't think nobody in the West got a team like Indiana, actually. Nobody in the West got a team like Indiana and offense is as free-flowing as it is compared to Indiana. So that's why I think that OKC can have success against any Western Conference team in a series. Granted, they won 7 with Denver. Shout out to Jokic in Denver. But they can have success against anybody in the West again next year. Shout out to the Rockets and KD. We'll get to that in a second. I've been talking a lot, so I'm going to pass it to. We got D-Mac and Spurs up here. How did y'all feel about OKC season in general? And ultimately, how did y'all feel about Game 7 and them not being NBA champions?
Well, I'll start on the Pacers side. Like, tough tough situation with Halliburton, man. And the fact that everything that they've been through this year, and that didn't stop them from going out there and fighting tooth and nail throughout Game 7. It's a testament to, again, as I've talked about the entirety of the year, how together they are, how well coached they are. Because to see your guy go down and still want to fight throughout a Game 7 on the road, that means you got a lot of mental fortitude. So I want to tip my cap to the Pacers. They made this series I should say, they made the series longer than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be entertaining because they were a good team on both ends of the floor, and they fought and they gave under everything that they possibly could, man. And again, it's tough. Obviously, Halliburton. The only silver lining is he's a guy that's got his money already. He's got his extension, I think, through 2030 or whatever. So he's not in jeopardy of losing out on any cash as far as that's concerned. Hope he bounces back. Probably missing the majority, if not all, of next year. So get well soon to him. He had a really clutch postseason, and yeah, I give a lot of credit to those that come up big when that matters. So on the winning side, the Thunder. eh, I mean, it is what it is. They've been the best team all year. I thought that they were the best team coming into the season. I thought that this was going to be the year in which they won the championship. I thank Wes and established and the Thunder people for making me a lot of money on some futures because I doubled down on those bets, and they deserve it. SGA, like you said, one of the best guard seasons in NBA history, no doubt about it. Finals MVP, regular season MVP. That's just one of those things that's always going to live throughout history. J-Dub proved himself on both ends of the floor as an all NBA season. Deepest team, Sam Presti, excellent job. No rush in building this team. He took the long path. He saw the vision. He stuck with it, and they got rewarded accordingly, man. So shout out to them. Those iHeart and Caruso moves, like you said, nice little pieces, and they definitely can come back stronger. It's very possible whether they want to add some vet talent, add some guys in the draft, whichever way they choose, they definitely can. And you got to say Sam Presti probably has the most trust of any GM in the NBA right now to get it done. So shout out to them. Excellent year. Best team in the world. Got it done. Best team entirety of the season as well. I still think everything is open next year as far as the championship, but the Thunder are going to be at the top of the favorite list for a reason.
Second that. What's going on, Spurs?
What's going on, Ev? Speaking on the Thunder, first of all, I want to congratulate the Thunder fans on their ring. I mean, they've been through a lot. I mean, I shit on them all the time, but they've definitely been through a lot with the Russ, KD, and Harden stuff and some other things with that. So shout out to OKC. And I think they got a pretty promising future, to say the least. If they don't win one next season, they probably could win one like 3 years down the line. So they got a young future and all that. But I do want to say, if I was OKC right now, what I would definitely not want to do is follow what Boston did. So what Boston basically did is they stayed put most of after winning the ring. They were happy with their current lineup. They thought they were a super team. They were satisfied. They stopped making changes. I don't think they should keep their draft picks. I'll be real. If they keep 15 and 24 and stay with the same lineup, I don't see them winning. I don't see them repeating. They could win another ring, but I don't see them repeating. I don't see them being good enough to do that. And I think they need to do what they did last summer. They've gotten iHeart. They got in Caruso. They added upon their squad. So like Ev said, maybe adding some shooting like Cam Johnson, that might be the move. If I were them, I'd make a crazy trade. I'd trade Chet for Giannis, but I get it. You don't want to trade Chet after winning a ring. It's too much. He's one of your big three pieces. And obviously you trust Sam Presti to make the draft picks and everything, all that work. But in my opinion, you just can't stay put. I don't think they're good enough to repeat. I don't think a lot of teams are good enough to repeat. Like the Celtics team was more likely to repeat than OKC, in my opinion. And the Celtics fumbled against the Knicks of all teams. They choked like 20-point leads like it was nothing. And my point is, to repeat it is very difficult. And what the Thunder should do is they should keep being greedy. They should keep improving their team, whether that's through trading for like a Cam Johnson, like a role player, something like that. But overall, yeah, congrats to OKC. They have a promising future. They got a lot of great players. J-Dub, I want to shout out Actually, no, I want to shout out before I get to I want to talk about the Thunder and then I'll talk about the Pacers. Because obviously I was rooting for the Pacers in this series. And don't worry, I'm still going to be ready to cook goods because he's going to be shameless in it. But regarding J-Dub, man, what a player. I remember when the Wizards were at like number 10 and we were linked with some players and J-Dub was one of them. I was like, low-key, we should trade up for this J-Dub guy. I mean, I like him. And I saw another Wizards Twitter aggregator, like, what's his name, Domo? He said he's the next PG. I was like, you wilding a little bit, bro. But, I mean, I see the potential. And even then, I guess I always saw the potential in him, but he still shocked all of us with. I didn't think his defense was that good. I didn't know his handle was as good as it could be. And yeah, he showed up. Like Ev said, 40 points. That's crazy in the finals. He did his thing, bro. He did his thing. So shout out to J-Dub for that. Shout out to Shea Alexander. Clippers, bro, you got fleeced. It is what it is. He's probably the best. He is the best player in the world. I'm willing to say that. I said I wouldn't give it to him until he won the ring, and he won the ring. So congrats to SGA. He is the best player in the world. He stood on business. He was hooping for real. And sometimes his teammates weren't helping him enough. We saw that. He was like, oh, his teammates just need to make the wide open shots, and then they got this. And shout out to the Thunder for that. As for the Pacers, one shout out I wanted to give actually that we didn't mention was TJ McConnell. That boy had heart. I was hating earlier in the series, but man, yesterday he did everything he could. The only problem with TJ was he's not Howley. He just couldn't pass like Howley could, and that eventually got exposed. It was just double team TJ and shit was over. And as for Rick, again, I have my questions about Rick. Why did you sub off Siakam for freaking Ben Shepherd? But it is what it is. I mean, without Howley, it was always going to be tough for the Pacers. So shout out to the Pacers, man. They made an unbelievable run. And as for next year's favorites and stuff like that, I don't know. I got Houston over OKC right now. If everything stays put in OKC, just draft some draft picks. I think Houston's improved their team a lot by getting rid of Jalen
We'll
Green.
say anything, man. Get your takeoff though.
No, I'm just gonna say Jalen Green, bro. I was talking this shit before. He was ass. Jalen Green should be playing in China, bro. Same with Dylan Brooks. They got rid of ass players and they
Dylan
improved their
Brooks
team
shot
with
40% from three last year, averaged 14 points per game.
Nobody cares about that, bro. He's Dylan Brooks, bro.
Consistent offense. No, he was not ass. You're wrong. You just lied because you didn't like a player. Dylan Brooks was a positive contributor.
LeBron ended Dylan Brooks' career ever since LeBron humbled him. But we don't gotta talk about that. We don't gotta talk about that. We don't gotta talk about that. It is what it is. It is what it is, bro.
Better than us.
Are we really gassing Dylan Brooks in 2025, bro? Are we doing that?
Who's gassing him? I said KD doesn't make them the Houston
KD's
Rockets
way better than Dylan Brooks. What are we talking about, bro? Are we really comparing KD to Dylan Brooks?
No, you're listen to what I'm saying. Kevin Durant does not make the Houston Rockets better than the Oklahoma City Thunder. To that, you say what, my nigga?
I say you're wrong. I say you're sleeping on KD. I say KD needs some defense to bail him out, and he's going to get buckets.
I'm sleeping on Ahmed. I can't dribble Thompson. I'm sleeping on Fred VanVleet. I shoot sub 40% from the field for an entire year. That's who I'm sleeping on. I'm sleeping on. We got to play Jabari Smith Jr. as a freaking small forward. That's what I'm sleeping on. That's what I'm telling you.
All I'm saying, Wes, listen,
gritty.
Wes,
They're not fucking with us.
You gotta improve your squad, and I think you will because you got Sam Presti. But if you're just gonna draft some people at 15 and 24 and stay put, you're gonna end up like Boston, and that's not a ring next year. That's all I'm saying.
Boston. All right, we say anything.
Listen, next year don't even matter.
Yeah, that's the point. No.
It's embarrassing to treat Houston
your ring.
like they're better.
I'm actually A ring is
Houston's second best player isn't better than our third best player. Fuck are we talking about Houston? Houston can't fuck with us. I bet we had the best player in that series, and we have the third and the fourth best player in that series. And I dare a nigga from Houston to play with it. I dare a nigga who riding their bandwagon to play with it. Out of the top four players, we got three of them. How they beating us? They don't have the same amount of depth. Yeah, they kept Tari cool. They still got Steve off the bench cool. Improved Jalen. Cool. You're not rocking with us, though. You're not rocking with us.
And I mean, to second that, I mean, you're asking Kevin Durant, who we do know, you know what I mean, is not the best playmaker to make plays against it.
Anyway, sorry, I finished the phone call. But anyways, sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. But anyways, like Established said, you guys got the ring. That's all that matters. You can talk your shit for a whole nother year. That's what fucking matters. You guys did this shit. You guys got the ring. You're on top of the world. But I'm just saying, if you guys stand put, it's not going to work like that. That's what I'm saying. And if you guys don't believe me, it is what it is. Ask Boston. They were on top of the world too. They thought they were going to repeat. It's not easy to repeat in today's NBA. It's really not. The only team that's really done that is the Golden State Warriors were KD and Curry. That's a super team. Are you telling me the Thunder right now on that same level? I don't think they are. That's just my general opinion. Now, can you guys get to that level? Absolutely. You guys did what you did last year. You improved upon the roster. You got Hartenstein. You got Caruso. You can do the same shit next year too. And that's what I'm saying. All you need to do is improve upon that roster. Don't be sticking with that same roster. That's all I'm saying, bro. And if you disagree, it is what it is. But anyways, big up OKC, man. Congrats on the ring. And yeah, they did their thing. Nobody can tell me about the fouls or whatever. No one can do that. They got their ring. They earned it. And for damn sure, Sam Presti earned it because he drafted like a lot of freaking future max players and shit like that. He's part of the reason why like a lot of the NBA is as good as it is. Like fair play to OKC. They develop talent, they get better, and it is what it is, bro. Now as for West, regarding Houston, bro, I think you're sleeping on KD a little bit too much. You're telling me Dylan Brooks to KD is not a massive upgrade. All right, bro.
Bro,
All right,
you
bro.
never heard me say that. Yeah, I hate when y'all do that dumbass shit. I didn't say that. I said that Kevin Durant does not make them better than us. That is you said you
I think
going
they
into
do.
next
I think
year.
they do. I watched that
I
Warriors game.
understand it. I heard you. Like, I'm not misrepresenting your point.
Okay.
I heard what you said, and I'm representing it properly. So let me re-represent what I said properly, and then you respond to what I'm saying, and you tell me how you feel about it. So, cool. You said that at the end of your take, going into next year, your favorites, if we stand pat, we being the Oklahoma City Thunder, your favorites are now the Houston Rockets. I'm
I'll be real. I'm not sure it's necessarily Houston. I just don't think OKC is repeating.
Well, that's what you said.
Roster.
So what is it? What is it? You just hating on OKC? You don't think we got it to?
I just don't think a lot of teams are good enough to repeat. You have to be a super
cool.
team to repeat, and I don't think you guys are that super team. That's
Understood.
All right. 1 second now. 5 seconds.
Shout out Sam Presti too.
If I were you guys, I would trade Chet for Giannis. That's like a super team. That's a team that wins like 3 in a row. But it is what it is, bro.
Trade Chet. Woohoo.
All right.
Fortunately, we don't have to. We won with Chet.
Losers got
to move like that. Winners dictate what's going on.
You should be concerned about Chet. I'll be real. You should be concerned.
No, I shouldn't. Chet last night was the second best player on the court.
He was good yesterday. I'll give you that. He was good yesterday. Yeah.
And he's only in his second year of basketball, bro, and missed half the season. Saying we need to be worried about Chet is wrong.
I'm saying if you guys want to repeat and you're relying on Chet as your third option, that's a concern. But it is what it is.
All right, bro. Shout out to everybody that spoke on the game. Shout out to the ones that's in here, by the way, too. On the YouTube side of things, y'all. On the YouTube side of things, thank y'all so much, truly. If you're in here, you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you hit the like button on this video. Liking the video will help the algorithm out for when I'm surfing on YouTube. For anybody that can come across, there's 43 people in here. Shout out for anybody that's coming across Fact and Stats on YouTube to come through. It's also like 10, I think, on somebody that on Twitch, so that's also important. As far as the Twitch, the whole entire cookout was live streamed on Twitch. Y'all can watch back some of the action, and I had everybody talk. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, had everybody pick their winner. Everybody came through, said some things. I even had it live when we went bowling too. So make sure y'all follow me on Twitch. I'm also at 38 subscribers on Twitch. Shout out to the ones that have been gifting subs on top of subbing as well. I am 12 subs away from 50. 12 subs away from 50 subscribers on Twitch. And I'll probably go live on Twitch later today, to be honest, after the show. I'll probably go to the court or something and just talk to y'all. To be honest, well, no, it's too hot outside. So we'll see. It's 93 outside right now. But they were speaking on the KD thing in here, and that's where I'm going to take it to next. I've been literally, I felt like I really went really deep into this trade thing yesterday in the space when I first started the space, and I was up there just talking by myself real quick. Then I let people come up, low, tween, etc., come up and talk about it briefly as well until I had to leave. But I'm gonna sort of kind of repeat some of the things that I said, or just speak freely off the top of my mind. This was a spot that I wanted for KD right here in Houston. I also wanted San Antonio. I didn't think Miami was realistic. Obviously, Miami did end up being a realistic option. They were just unwilling to depart with like some mixture of Haywood, Highsmith, Jaime, and probably Jovic, right? Something like that. Some mixture of that. We know Wiggins and Terry was in the trade. But it was some mixture between those guys right there. They was willing to just not part with to get the trade done. Cool, whatever. Fast forward now, because it came down to the Heat and the Rockets. Fast forward now, the Spurs never really made an offer for real, allegedly. Fast forward now, KD gets traded yesterday for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and the number 10 pick in the 2025 draft and 5 second-round picks. For anybody that knows, we know the Suns lack assets, right? So even them getting 5 second-round picks is probably a happy thing for them. I'm going to speak on the Suns side of things first real quick. I thought they could be in a scenario where they may send Jalen elsewhere, but then again, deep down, there's really no need to do so. He has a couple of years left on his contract. He's going into a situation to where I feel like he can blossom, playing in Phoenix alongside Devin Booker. I know they're still trying to get Bradley Beal up out of there, but playing alongside Devin Booker, I do think Jalen Green can blossom and showcase some good scoring abilities. Also showcase being able to get downhill and pretty much being an opposite player of what Devin Booker is. Not saying completely, but just do different things. And that's not some of Devin Booker's strengths. So I guess it can be okay. Getting Dylan Brooks as well from the wing perspective, being able to defend guys, being able to knock down shots. I think Dylan Brooks will be fine in Houston and Phoenix. I'm gonna meet you real quick, Eli, if that's Eli. I think Dylan Brooks will be fine. Okay, so the Heat made Jovic untouchable. I figured the Heat made Jovic untouchable. I mean,
is there anything serious about your franchise, bro?
I mean, look, I want to stop right there real quick. Yeah, I mean, to me that's ridiculous. To me, that's ridiculous. Like I was mad when
I got to go. He's old. He's washed. He's got to go.
Ass,
I was a little upset when I saw that they was you want to keep wearing cool, but Jovic,
Niggas best players, Bam, and you got the nerve to call Kevin Durant ass. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, we suck.
It's
And
embarrassing.
we suck with KD too. So
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, I guess.
But for the Rockets side of things,
my favorite player win a title. I don't give a fuck about nothing. On a guy, we suck. Okay.
For the Rockets side of things, before I pass and I'll let Eli talk about either the OKC championship or even just the KD trade too. But the Rockets side of things, I'm happy. The first reported trade was Jalen and Jabari with pick 10. I really wasn't a fan of the partner with both of those guys. When we was doing like the trade machine like a couple weeks ago, I wanted it to be something like Dylan Brooks and Jalen. I think that's what I said. It ended up being that anyway. And it's a huge upgrade. It's a massive upgrade to be able to go from Kevin Durant. From an offensive standpoint, number one option. You're not banking on Sengun down the stretch all the time. You can still do it, but you're not doing it all the time like they were doing in that Golden State Warriors and Rockets series. You not have a guy on the wing and a perimeter that's going to give you 25 plus a night. Doing it from an efficient standpoint as well. Also you give Thompson some space to operate and get downhill and play his best basketball in fast break situation and things of that nature with having a threat of Kevin Durant. Now the fit is with the amongst KD, Sengun, and Thompson in the starting lineup together. Still have to see what it look like, but I do think that Fred and Jabari will be able to spread the floor out, and even KD for those guys and allow them to operate. They was able to keep Tardis and they was able to keep Reed Shepard. I was able to keep Cam Whitmore. They extended Steven Adams a week ago. So they still have a solid team. They still have a good team, and their identity is still intact. And I do think this move sets them up. That crop of teams that's below OKC to say, okay, we all got a chance. We all can make the Western Conference Finals. I think the Nuggets probably feel like that going into next season. Depending they probably make a move or not. I think the Wolves feel like they can go back again next year. I think the Rockets feel like that now this season, going into next season, rightfully so. 50-plus win team, and you drop Kevin Durant there, and you're not losing whatever you thought of Jalen Green. Respectfully, you're not losing nothing with Jalen Green not being on the team anymore. For the most part, you're losing some sort of kind of one-on-one shot creation and things of that nature. But Dylan Brooks, from the Dylan Brooks side of things, yeah, but you still have Tardis in the fold, right? And they now start a huge front court. KD, Jabari, and Sengun will be the starting front court for that team, so that's huge. They'll rebound well, they'll defend well, and then their offense will get a tad bit better. Because I do think Amen Thompson would also be better next season as well. Just overall as a player. So I do think they're right there with all those other teams, and it all depends on what side of the bracket you fall on, who you play. And I don't think the Rockets are done. I do think the Rockets make another move to sort of kind of bolster their chances some more. And whether that's another guard, somewhere outside shooting, things of that nature. So I love the trade for both sides personally. Well, no, I don't. I love the trade for both sides. I love the trade for the Rockets. And Phoenix, I guess, I mean, listen, you're able to get picked 10. I guess you can get a young, good prospect. You got Jalen, who's still young, right? You know what I'm saying? And this can be a fresh start for him. You know, because I said yesterday on the space that when Jalen Green was first drafted, he was heavily prioritized. He was the guy. And going into that college season, Cade and Jalen was viewed as like two good, really players, right? It's really pick you one, get you one. And obviously Evan Mobley was up there too. The Rockets thought Jalen Green was going to be a guy. The Rockets thought Jalen Green was going to be a superstar or really a star player in this league. And when Sengun started to emerge, he lapped him, right? And then when the Thompson twin this past season and a half or two, he's not even lapped them as far as the pecking order for who they prioritize within their organization. Speaking to strictly players, that level of play, they care more, or they value Sengun and Amen more than the Jalen Green, in my opinion, rightfully so. So I do think going into Phoenix is a fresh start. He should be able to play really good basketball. He should start. I think Bradley Beal should come off the bench personally if he's still on the roster. Granted, Gambo said they're trying to move him, they're trying to work something out, or whatever the case may be. But
Trade or a buyout. It's funny, man.
Yeah, even that, you know what I'm saying? Something got to give though. But Bradley, something got to give. And Bradley Beal, wherever he lands, if it's not Phoenix this year, he can probably be a solid guy off the bench for somebody. Off the bench, keyword off the bench. Like he needs to come off the bench at this point in his career, with all due respect. So, you know, it's Jalen Green. Enjoy Phoenix. You know, I don't know what to expect out of the Suns this year. And I think the biggest thing about this whole entire thing is the Rockets didn't fold. The Rockets didn't fold at all. And what I mean by that is the Suns wanted the Rockets to give them their 2027 first round draft pick back. And the Rockets didn't fold. They didn't give it up to them. So to be able to get KD for what you got him for, and now to be able to have that such valuable asset, and along with others, pieces and things on your team, to be able to go out and try to get somebody else to continue to bolster your mob and continue to better your chances when it comes to competing in the Western Conference, it's amazing. So shout out to KD, shout out to the Rockets. That's my whole thoughts on it. I love the move for the Rockets. I do think this puts them up there with some of the one of the best teams in the Western Conference, you know, below OKC. So that's my 1-2 on it. Anybody else want to speak on the trade up here?
Yeah. So I already said it, like why I like the trade so much for Houston, but I'll just say like for Phoenix, I don't really know what direction they'll go in. It is crazy to me. Like maybe the best move is to attach a pick to Bradley Beal and try to offload his contract. Whether if he agrees to that no trade clause, if he agrees to, like, for example, like I'm as a Wizards fan, I think I could see him coming back to DC possibly. Maybe you could get like some picks back, and then Bradley Beal, and what Phoenix will get with like Chris Middleton and like Rashawn Holmes, maybe something like that. I suggested that trade before, but other than that, yeah, I don't know. Phoenix is cooked because Jalen Green itself also, you might need to attach a pick to get rid of that contract. He's kind of like how Jordan Poole was at the Warriors in terms of value. Like you have to attach a pick to get rid of his contract too. So in my opinion, what Phoenix should do is probably trade Booker, but they would never do that. They would never do it. Booker is, to be fair, he's an amazing player. He's a superstar. Yeah, big up Booker. But I don't see how they rebuild around that. But as for Houston, like I said, I like this trade so much for so many reasons. Dylan Brooks, yeah, listen, he was good for Houston last year, but he's not KD. And Jalen Green is just a liability itself. Like I said, I mentioned this before. Every time they get more than 10 points, Jalen Green gets more than 10 points, they beat the Warriors. That's all they needed Jalen Green to do. And Jalen Green couldn't do that. In my opinion, I think KD can do that. I think KD can get them buckets. I think Houston has an amazing defense overall. It's a great fit for them. And those are just my thoughts on the trade right now. I think if I was Phoenix, I would not buy Beal out. I think that's stupid, especially because you don't have your own picks. I would actually attach a pick and get rid of his contract. That's what I would do if I was Phoenix, and see like which tanking team would be willing to get him, and maybe Beal would come back to DC. That's what I think. It would work as a DC fan. I know Z-Farm would not be happy with that. He does not want Beal back. But I mean the picks, bro. If we could get number 10, like all the picks they got in the KD trade, they could send that to DC for Bradley Beal. I think it could work. You know what I mean? That's some other picks additionally. But those are just my thoughts on that.
Josiah, you got any thoughts? Appreciate you too, Spurs. Josiah, you up here?
Yeah.
You got any thoughts on the KD and Houston Rockets trade?
For me, I really like the trade for Houston. Really getting a guy like KD who's a solidified bucket getter and putting him around and putting him in a great situation with a lot of great defenders, and stuff. And now you have like a solidified guy you can go to in the fourth quarter, because throughout the second half of the last season now of this season, the Rockets struggle in the clutch with a guy they can go to in the fourth. So getting a guy like KD who can go off in the fourth, that can be your go to guy in the fourth when you need him the most, is huge. And for the Suns, this is a the Suns. I don't know. It's just like they putting themselves into more of cap hell, because between Booker, Beal, and now Jalen Green, that's 90% of their payroll next year, going to next season.
I agree, Josiah. That's why I said I think they should offload the Beal contract. That's like what they are. They should attach picks. They should get rid of all their picks if they could, if they have to get rid of that Beal.
That's terrible advice. Hey, you have a sunk cost on a team that's not going to contend. Let's offload our future just so that we can be in a position with this guy.
So you can get rid of some cap space and get some good players. Like Chris Middleton could be valuable for the Suns.
That's not how that works.
Rashawn Holmes.
It's not.
Marcus
You're not
Smart.
getting rid of cap. You're not getting cap space. What you're doing is you're trading a big contract and acquiring. You might flip one into two players. Maybe they're more additive for a year. Who really cares though? Because you're not contending. You don't give up your future to get rid of a guy when you're in no man's land. Like that's not how I think you should operate if you're Phoenix. You just said trade all of your picks. Just get rid of Bill. That's all that matters. Like, nah, that's not a wise.
I mean, that's how the Suns owner is moving. To be fair, but like, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's a risk in both.
He's moving. He did that for Durant. When it did not work out with Durant, now they're pivoting and they're trying to.
They're trying to buy out Beal, bro. That's just as bad.
It actually is not.
Why is that?
Buying out Bill is not nearly as bad as giving up picks to get off of him. What type of sense does that make?
Buying out Beal means you're stuck with that contract no matter what, even though he's not playing for you, and you're just cooked as a franchise. You can't build around Booker.
When you're not contending, when you're not competing, that is a better course of action than trading your fucking future when it comes to picks.
They don't have a future anyways. How many picks do they have?
That's the point. That's why you don't get rid of them.
No, that's why you get rid of Beal and the picks, and you don't have any anyways. Might as well just restart.
All right.
I get what you're saying.
All right, Spurs. You're saying bogus, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Respectfully, you're saying bogus. That makes no sense. You have no picks, or trade any picks you have anyway. And then what? What's your future?
You have cap space and try to sign a free agent to build around Booker. That's what I was thinking. But I mean, I get what you guys are saying, though. Yeah, it is a crazy idea for sure.
I think I can't recall some of the things you said on the trade yesterday, Wes. But do you want to bless YouTube with your thoughts on the trade from both sides? I know you were a fan of KD landing on the
Rockets. Simply put, like, good deal for the Rockets. I think they still need to make another move for me to believe in them as true, like, championship contenders. I think they are contenders in the West in terms of, hey, we could make it to the Western Conference Finals for sure. I don't think that with Durant, unless something goes wrong for us, I don't see both squads fully healthy them beating us. And I don't think it's particularly close. So I would say that I think they probably need another move. I would just try to upgrade, either upgrade the point guard position or do something with Jabari, like in a pick, and try to get like just another ball handler who could get downhill. Like I think that's something that they're lacking. And a true shot maker, potentially shot creator as well. I don't think they have enough of that. And that was my concern with them losing Jalen in the Durant trade. Obviously, Durant's a huge upgrade to Jalen Green. Not to be debated. My thing with their team though is now is Fred VanVleet as like an on ball, like just ball handler, creator. I don't look at Amon as that for sure. Maybe he improves in that area, and that'll be great for them. But as it stands right now, I think Amon is a guy who isn't someone you can really pencil in to count on. I think they have one legit ball handler. I think that's a problem. I think even with Jalen, no matter how you felt about him or feel about him, he gave them another ball handler. He actually, really aside from like in the half court, with all of his flaws, I didn't trust anyone in the half court more to get downhill than Jalen Green on that team. So now we're looking at a roster who now make it's like Amon, and Amon is a better athlete, stronger, has all these other tools, but his handle is so weak that I think Amon is depending on the defense that's being played, is really feast or famine in terms of him being able to get to the rim in the half court. Obviously, in transition, he's one of the best players in the NBA, a different level of a beast. So that serves them well, but cool. As for Phoenix, don't like it. But the best they can do for Durant at this point, and you gotta kind of lick your wounds. I think Dylan's a solid pickup, and a player who could be rerouted. At some point, you could flip him and get something for him. Potentially, I think Jalen Green is a player that the market doesn't seem to be bullish on. So I don't know. Maybe let him try to play it out, figure things out in Houston. I mean, in Phoenix for a season. My only issue with that is like I don't see the real upside for his game in Phoenix. I think they offensively they may have better perimeter pieces or a better perimeter piece. He's playing beside a player like an offensive talent he's never played with before in Book. So that helps, right? I still think though the limitations with the ball handling, them not having a true point guard, them having to run point guard together by committee. I think some of those things are nasty, not ideal, and like he's a player who struggled in seeing one-on-one coverage. He's a player who was too weak to, deal with Steph Curry in one-on-one. And that doesn't they don't have good screeners. They be in Phoenix. They don't have great slashers. They don't have great athletes. They're like nothing really fits his style of play in terms of like really helping him blossom. So unless he's just a sponge to D-Book, and D-Book kind of shows him, these are ways you could get better shots on the court. This is how you can get into your offense a little bit better. This is how you can attack on the court a little bit better. And he's just like an understudy beside him. I don't really see it, man. But it is what it is. So yeah.
You said some good stuff. I ain't gonna lie. You said some good stuff. You said some things that I can look at it from your perspective versus mine. So, yeah, man, I agree with a lot that you just said. Established. I don't know if you want to comment anything on the Kevin Durant trade at all, or are you sure?
I feel like y'all said everything, but I would have been interested to hear like the retrospective. I mean, the stage is like um, retro. The stage is my brain is melting. The stage's thoughts on Katie's tenure with Phoenix, because I'd be interested to hear y'all opinion on that though. Like, what did you think about
What did you say?
Like thinking of I was asking what was the stage's opinion on like Kevin Durant's overall tenure with the Phoenix Suns. How you felt about it?
11-10 was good. JD, they can go after Trey Murphy. That'd be cool. I'm seeing Will. Before I answer your question, I'm seeing Will, the Rockets fan. Will is throwing out like trying to target Derek White, trying to target. He said he'll walk on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I can't remember the third name that he said alongside Derek White. It slipped my mind, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. But I mean, KD tenure on the Suns. I mean, when you sit back and look at KD career and you think about all the teams that he played for, this is probably easily gonna be the Quentin Grimes. This is probably easily gonna be the most forgotten one. Like, I don't think nobody's gonna remember that KD played on the Suns when it's all said and done. I'm not gonna lie. Because the tenure was like one, it was quick for 2.5 seasons. It was quick, and it wasn't a real experience. You know what I'm saying? Like they seen the Nuggets in the playoffs, right? They lost to the Nuggets, I think, in like 6. We know Chris Paul and Ayton was banged up. Even Booker got hurt. I can't even remember any of the other playoff series. I'm not sure. Oh, the Wolves. They got swept by the Wolves, and they didn't make the playoffs this year. So you get swept by the Wolves one year, you go to the second round next a previous year, previous season. I'm sorry, and then you don't make the playoffs at all this year. So you know, like it's going to be forgotten about. I think the tenure it wasn't really nothing to remember, and it's not really. I did enjoy Booker and KD playing basketball, seeing them guys be able to play and feed off of each other when the team was right was amazing. So I definitely want to say that, but the tenure I think will be forgotten about. I don't think nobody's gonna remember KD in Phoenix, you know, at all. And you know, it's tough. So I would pretty much just say I guess it was a bad experience, but like how much was really on him? You know, that's how I look at it. Could have been a bad experience, yeah, but how much was on KD? I think KD was KD. KD showed up, KD played, KD had to deal with 2 wings that get hurt. Booker and Bill, they both get hurt, especially Bill. And then KD will have his random little injuries too. Don't get me wrong. But for the most part, he showed up and he played, you know, so the same way every game. And even at times, he felt like he wasn't even being properly utilized within the offense, you know, as well. So that even matters, bro. So you know, sometimes he was in the corner, you know. Then they had to try to implement Bradley Beal, who's best with the ball in his hands. You know, it was a lot for the Suns, you know, to try to figure out so fast on the fly. So I personally, I think the tenure we forgot about, and I think it probably was a failure ultimately overall. So, but that's where he wanted to go. That's where he decided to play basketball at. You know, sometimes I don't really be feeling too bad for players that choose where they want to go. Like he said yesterday when he was at the Fanatics thing, he was talking to K, but he said, yeah, he had his hand in this 1,000%. Like this is where he wanted to go. He gave him some destinations. He wanted to go to Houston. He ended up in Houston. You know, so he said his hand was in it 1,000%. So like again, this is where he wants to go. This is where he want to play basketball. He said they're a good fun young team. They won 50+ games next year, and he feel like he'll be a good fit there, which he probably will be. But like, say they don't get out the first round with KD, I'm not looking at that in no type of way. Like that's on him. He chose to go there, so that's how I'm looking at it. And again, granted, this is the best from an open market perspective, from a realistic avenues. I do like the fit, and I do like him going to Houston too. But versus him trying to go and shack up or pair up with a Jokic in Denver or something like that, you know. So I think Houston is a good last spot for KD, personally. So yeah, ultimately to answer your question again, yeah, I think the tenure we've forgotten about, and I think it was pretty much bad experiences, but I don't really think any of that would do to Kevin Durant. I think the biggest problem for them was when they took that pivot from Chris Paul, Ayton to Bill and Nurkic, and I do think it was time to pivot off of Chris Paul. I don't want to make that very clear. But I don't think Bradley Beal was the answer. So I think that's where they got messed up at, because they messed up all their assets and then they couldn't improve around Booker and KD. So that's pretty much what I got to say about it.
He's such an interesting player, man. Such an interesting career for sure.
Yeah, his career is rather interesting. I'm not going to lie to you. When you
like, bro, that shit is crazy.
It's a hell of a player, hell of a scorer, superstar player. But, I mean, he got to do something. He got to do something. So that's my thoughts. 11-10, welcome to the stage. You can circle on the series as far as like the Thunder winning it all, their whole entire season, the Pacers season, Game 7 or the series, and then whatever you want to say about the NBA Finals. And then what was your thoughts on the Kevin Durant and Rockets trade?
Hey fellas, good afternoon. Congrats to Establish and Wes, much to my dismay. But it was a bummer for me. at least just watching Game 7 with how Hallie's out, and I think um, the timing. I'm interested to know did the Pacers trade for their pick back after Hallie suffered like that
Yeah,
calf injury?
they did it Monday. That was Monday.
Okay, so they probably hedged their bets, which is really smart because now it's super unfortunate that Hallie got hurt the way he did.
Mm.
And to be that close for that to happen, and he looked like he was on his way to having a good game, and you never know, like teams don't make it back, and it's tough. But to I guess have that foresight to trade for your pick back in 2026 because the Pelicans originally had that. Um, I think it's a smart move, an underrated sort of kind of storyline there. So big congrats to OKC. They had a hell of a season and they were able to, seal the deal in Game 7. So shout out to them. For the Pacers, obviously that sucks. Had a hell of a playoff run, and your franchise player, suffers kind of career altering like injury in that regard. Super unfortunate. So wish him a speedy recovery, and we'll see what they do going forward. Also interesting if they still decide to bring back Miles Turner. They made it seem like it was a given, but now that Hallie's like out for a year, is it worth it, to bring him back? So interested to see what they do with that. And also he didn't really have a good final, so curious to see if they still decide to bring him back. So
Okay.
yeah, go ahead.
That's a great shout out because this was the first time they were willing to go into the luxury tax to keep that core intact and extend Miles. Now you're pretty much punting a season with all due respect. From a championship perspective or a contending perspective, do you even want to waste a year going into that for no reason?
Exactly.
So that's a good point out, to be honest. Damn.
Yeah, so I was curious to see if they still decide to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of Indy decides to do in the off season. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I think that's it on that series. Obviously, OKC, they still have ways to improve the roster down the line or all those things and internal development. So we'll see if they keep pick 15, what they decide to do with that going forward. But shout out to them for finally being able to get over the hump. Sam Presti finally able to get that elusive ring. So big ups to Oklahoma. And as far as like the KD trade, fantastic for Houston in terms of like what they had to actually give up. Like, people were saying Jabari would have to be in the deal and all these things, and they didn't give up anybody. Like none of their young guys are in there except Jalen Green. Obviously for the Suns, I think the biggest thing that they wanted out of that trade was probably pick 10. And Dylan Brooks, solid rotational player. The Jalen Green stuff, I don't know. But I think the appeal for the Suns is probably getting that 10th pick, the 5 seconds, which maybe you can make an additional move down the line for. And obviously having Dylan Brooks, I listened to some Suns like podcasts or whatever, and their new coach wants to create like this grit and grind sort of atmosphere or culture within the team. So obviously Dylan Brooks, he fits into that. So he's a good guy to have, in terms of like building out your team and trying to define a culture and stuff. So I think that's a good sort of pickup for them. But for Houston, you get KD, you get a guy who really good at isolation scorer. The Rockets really struggled in that regard. You keep pretty much everybody else. You keep all the Suns draft picks except like pick 10, which they didn't really want the pick anyway, from what I've seen in terms of like reports and stuff. So you keep the 2 additional Suns picks. So you still have the Suns' future like in your hands. So you could couple that down the road to make another additional move or whatever. You still have a lot of flexibility there. You keep a lot of your young guys that the Rockets are very sort of high on or want to see continue grow. So I think they do need additional moves down the line because shooting and spacing, like Dylan Brooks, he was a guy who provided a lot of shooting for the team. He's gone. Obviously defensively too, he adds in that regard, but shooting is going to be, I think, an issue. I think they report like the starting lineup is like Fred, and KD, Jabari, Şengün. You're going to need a little bit more offensively, I think, not just KD relying on him in terms of providing all of that. So I'm curious to see how they fill out the rest of that roster, if they do any additional moves or sign a free agent. I'm not sure what their cap situation is like, but for the Rockets, I think it's a really good trade for them. And for the Suns, I don't know. That like if you look at their entire roster is just guards. So what do you do? Beal, they want to buy him out, but Beal has to agree to a buyout. Like, I don't know. Beal pretty much still holds the cards in that scenario. You're not going to start all three of them, right? I wouldn't think so, but who knows? You only have like one or two wings on the roster with Ryan Dunn and who else? I'm not sure, unless you want to count Royce O'Neal as one. But they have a lot of bad contracts in Phoenix, and I don't know how they move them. They're still second apron, I believe, at the moment, I think they have the option to like waive Cody Martin and what's his name, Misic, to get under it, I think, but we'll see. I can't remember exactly if that's true or not. But you're putting a lot of pressure, I think, to either nail pick 10 or be able to move pick 10 for a better player, or even move up. I'm not sure what options they're looking at, but they have a lot of pressure to, I think, nail pick 10. So I don't know. And the Jalen Green stuff, it's obvious that I think they wanted to see if they could flip him, but his market isn't there. So now they're kind of stuck with him. And I think they took on his contract or whatever because of that pick 10 and the 5 seconds that they got with it. So I think it's a great trade for the Rockets. For Phoenix, I think they played this whole situation wrong, and you just got to live with it. So they were doing a lot of leverage stuff in the media. They put a deadline, in terms of when they wanted to trade him, and it was just a super suppressed market. So I guess this is the best that they could have done. So for the Heat fan perspective, obviously it sucks. We didn't get him, but I'm not beat up over it. After seeing like all of the reports that have come out and stuff, I'm like, it makes sense, because I think with the Shams article that came out, everybody was like in an uproar in terms of like Heat Twitter because of how Shams kind of worded what he said. And I think if you compare, the Rockets package to what they wanted out of the Heat, it makes sense why they would want everything we have if the Rockets are willing to give pick 10 and 5 seconds and Dylan Brooks, and we don't have a pick better than pick 10. Our pick is 20, so that means we have to give more, and then we didn't want to include Ware, so that means, all right, you got to give me everything else plus pick 10, and it seemed like they also wanted more draft picks too, coupled up with that. So I understand why the Heat wouldn't do that, because if you trade for Durant and then you trade everything else on your roster, and then also every draft pick that you have available to trade, how do you improve the roster around Durant? And we've seen with the playoffs and how things go, that depth really matters. Having guys that can come in and play, having 6, 7, 8 guys that can come off your bench help you, or being able to have a 6, 7, 8 guys that you can trust to give you solid minutes and contribute and impact winning is important. And it also is important to get through the regular season in terms of young guys and things like that. So I understand why. And it seemed like too that the Suns weren't interested in Duncan's contract, even though it would give them like cap relief and stuff. So, that meant I think the final offer was like Andrew Wiggins, Terry, Jaime Highsmith, and like pick 20 that the Heat were willing to offer. And then in Shams' piece, they said that, they wanted everything else, like Jovic, Highsmith, Jaquez, Wiggins, Terry, pick 20, and then probably another pick. And to me, it's just like, I get why. So it is what it is. But Katie got what he wanted. I think Katie ended up in a good spot. At least he's protected defensively. And I think now the Rockets need to figure out how to balance out the roster offensively. So I think that's it, bro. I think that's it. Oh, and then the Spurs are saying the Spurs didn't even make an offer. Yeah, so that's what Gamble reported. So that's interesting too.
You
And
think
it felt like the Spurs didn't really want him for real. So
you think he should have been moved at the deadline, 11 team?
I wasn't on the stage. My bad. But yeah, I see it. Allegedly, the
At the
Spurs didn't offer
deadline.
anything. They love their young core. And they don't want to alter that. And then your explanation for the comparing the offers between the Heat and the Rockets, yeah, it makes sense. You know, we would have had it apart with we made Jovic and we're untouchable. How do you feel about that?
The Jovic thing was interesting. I was like, oh. They said they were reluctant. I don't think it made them. I don't think they said untouchable. I think Ware was for sure untouchable. But I think maybe they would have give up Jovic if they had to give up less than what they wanted or whatever. But I thought that was interesting. That they didn't want to give up either of those two guys.
I
But
think if I
I don't
think if
know.
the trade, this is just my. If I think if the trade, and they also was reported they like Highsmith too a lot, right? I
Yeah.
think if the Heat went with Wiggins, Terry, Jovic, Highsmith slash
No,
Harden,
I mean Shams said they wanted all of it. Like there's like
right, right,
every
right.
one of them. And I'm just saying, if I'm the Heat, I understand why I wouldn't do that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like if I give you all of that and then I have to give you draft picks too as well, because that's what also was said in that Shams thing.
Yeah, I think the picks
How
is
the
the
hell
main
do you
thing.
improve? How do you improve the team, Ed?
Yeah,
Like
after
you're
that,
dead
yeah.
stuck. It's gonna be the Phoenix situation all over again, where you only can get like vet men guys. Like how are you gonna improve the team? To me, it's just like I just don't think for the Heat it's smart. Like it sucks, but like you're just no avenues to improve the team. Like you lose your draft picks, you lose every tradable contract besides Duncan, in that deal. Like how are you gonna improve the team? There's just nothing else on the roster. That's the entire bench that you just gave up. So to me it's like I live with it. It's unfortunate, but I think it's part of the Heat's problem too. Like I think the Rockets being able to give them 5 seconds also allows them to not put other guys in the deal. We don't collect any seconds. Like we don't have any seconds to just be like, all right, we don't want to put X, Y, and Z in there, but we'll give you like 5 or 6 seconds. And then we always use seconds to dump bad contracts, like what we did with Deadman, what we did with Oladipo, what we did with like other guys. We use seconds to dump bad contracts, and seconds help move trades along nowadays. So I think the Heat, bro, like the whole asset stuff, they need to do a better job collecting assets. So when they do want to get a guy and they don't want to give up a player, you can just throw some seconds in and maybe the deal gets done. So it is what it is.
3 points. 3 points on
Some good
5.
points, 11.
And Established, you asked me something. I forgot what you asked me.
Oh, all I asked was, do you think he should have been moved at the
Oh,
deadline?
the deadline. Wasn't there reports that Houston was willing to give up more players but no picks? What was the players again? Barley?
You said
I
what?
saw some shit earlier that Houston made an offer at the deadline
Was good,
and
Kenny. Kelly P was good game.
it wasn't any picks involved, but they gave up like more players. Like Jabari, I think, was in the deal or something like that. I think they probably should, if they're Suns, they probably should have traded him at the deadline. They would have gotten back. At minimum, if they would have traded with the Heat, they would have got a guy like Jimmy back, or the Warriors, whatever. You get Jimmy and Kuminga or whatever the fuck the frameworks were. You probably have more
Shams brought it up.
guys that could be better.
The reason the Jimmy for KD was so hard was because they kept adding a third team because both teams couldn't. What's it called? It was a very tricky trade to pull off.
What do you mean?
I think he was talking about something like the second apron where you can get more, something like that. I forgot what he was exact words, but he just was basically saying the deal was gonna be very hard to if they pull it off.
For who? Like Heat and
KD for Jimmy.
no, I mean KD makes more than Jimmy, so it's like it wouldn't have been hard if it's like a 1-to-1 thing and like you put a young player or something in the first. You don't need a third team for that. So, but yeah, established. They probably should have traded him at the deadline, but hey, it is what it is now, bro.
Hold on. What was the offer at the deadline?
I'm trying to remember what the Rockets did at the deadline. Like I remember no picks were involved, but it was like more players were offered. Hold on.
Damn. So at the deadline, the Rockets were trying to move Jalen. That says a lot.
I'm trying to find where
Says
it
a lot.
is.
They were lying
Yeah,
there.
I think that's true.
They were lying the whole time. That says a lot.
Eddie
That
Gonzalez
that
said that the
that
Suns.
adds validity to the fact that in the offseason, the contract he got was not, yo, we believe in you. It was yo, we want to be able to trade you.
Oh yeah, one
We're
thousand
gonna give
percent.
you this
Yeah,
money.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Man, tough.
That's how I looked at that for real, for real, to be honest.
But I do want to say though, like, I understand like not liking a player and being, Jalen Green, whatever. To say that players in year 4 need to go to China, like,
Nah, that's
that's just
crazy.
wow. Like
Nah,
23
nah, nah,
year
that's crazy.
old.
That's crazy.
Come on, dude. Like, what are we
Who said
doing?
that?
It was said in here earlier on stage, and now somebody sent it in the
No, I
chat.
said it here. I'm said it, bro.
Oh, it was
Listen, maybe
Is
he
that
develops
Spencer?
in
on stage.
Phoenix, yeah, but I don't see it, bro. I don't see
Nah,
it.
nah, nah, nah. He still can develop into. I'm not gonna say he's gonna become an all-star level player, but he
But in
can.
Phoenix, in this
No,
current
I feel
roster,
like we
man,
seen the trajectory with Poole that last year with Golden State, where he was his efficiency tailored down, the turnover rate, the carry violation or palming. It's like Jalen Green was similar to that. Like they wasn't, like I'm not gonna. Poole was better
I
in
get what
my.
you're saying regarding the pool thing, but I just
Yeah,
don't like the fit in Phoenix with Beal and
you
Booker.
don't think
Like
he
he's
could
not
be a good
developing.
six man on a competent team?
Oh, you're saying if he gets traded, I guess, but it sounds like Phoenix wants to keep him. So
Like going to China is crazy. He still can be a six man on a competent
he
team.
could be six man. I was wrong about that. He can be a six man, but in Phoenix right now, I don't see. I don't. See, he might as well just be in China at that point. I'll be real. I don't see him developing.
I'm seeing though, Rockets are really bullish on Reed, and they feel like that may be their extra piece. Like, hey, Reed was a rookie, year 1. We still believe in him fully. He can shoot, to cover off the ball. He can be a ball handler. He can, facilitate. Worry about Reed because I wonder if Reed and Rob, same thing. Physically, I don't know how well they'll stack up. Now Reed is better. He's like, has a better body to contribute physically. But Reed he didn't look. And granted, he was a rookie, so I'm not gonna make too much of it. But yeah, he didn't look that great last year. And the biggest issue I had with him, which is easily fixable, he looked like he was shy to shoot the ball.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
can't happen this year. He's got to be willing to, I'm confident in the work I put in, and I'm gonna let it fly and live with whatever the result is. And they're probably banking on KD instilling some of that confidence in him, the same way Bron instilled some confidence in Austin Reeves. Not saying it's the same situation, but for those who know, you know. So it'll be interesting and see. And if he does pan out, I like this a lot more for Houston, and I love it for Houston as it stands. I'm saying in terms of them potentially being contenders, I like it more if Reed takes that step.
I'm gonna be.
And go ahead, Queen.
I'm
Quickly. I
disagreeing.
found a
Oh, go ahead.
tweet. It was Gambo. Gambo who said it. The Rockets offer in February was Jabari Smith and Jalen Green with no draft picks. So that was what was offered at the deadline.
So
And this time
Bari.
around, Bari and Jalen. And this
Okay.
time around, obviously they didn't feel like they needed to put Bari in. Added Dylan Brooks, pick 10 in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's the worst package. But yeah, speaking to West Point, but if I'm Reed Shepard, look at a guy like Fred VanVleet, 6 feet, 6'2" wingspan, and he's a plus defender, and he's not all world talent, but he does the dirty stuff where you can be like, oh, okay. Seen it last night, TJ McConnell, maybe 6'1", maybe a 6 foot wingspan, negative wingspan, like bruh, he still can be a player even though his physical tools is not there. Yeah,
Did
look,
you
I got
see
a phone call.
real quick? Bless you. Did you see Rob Kimbrell? Well, it's not Rob. He posted the clip from First Take. But Brian Windhorst, did you see his report this morning on First Take? He said Kevin Durant kept rejecting trades that other teams were sending to Phoenix, saying, "Nah, I don't want to go there. Nah, I don't want to go there. Nah, I don't want to go there." Until the price got so low for Houston that they couldn't reject making the trade for him. Like Houston was hesitant to send too much, so Durant kept rejecting
Oh yeah,
trades
I
and
believe
other
that.
offers until it was like, well, look, we'll take Green, Dillon, and the 10th pick. And then Houston was like, oh, word? For sure. Let's get the deal done. That's
Yeah.
wild, bro.
Katie hate
I
them,
don't know,
bro.
man. This
Yo,
player
Katie,
empowerment
hold
kind
up.
of
Katie
Now,
hate
bugs.
Katie,
Katie was
bro.
moving petty. Y'all see him in the interview where
Yeah,
Adams
he
was
was like,
talking about,
they didn't want me, so who cares? They
yeah.
wanted me
Now he
gone.
moving like a bitter ex. Damn.
Thank God I don't
That's
have that headache
crazy,
anymore.
man.
I thought 30, I thought 36 undefeated, 31 plus one, 35 plus one. I thought, you feel me?
Nah, that's insane though. To literally be like, yo, these teams who are sending better packages, and some of like we can go back and forth on whether Houston or Minnesota would have been a better spot. If Minnesota was trading Rudy, I like Houston more. But if Minnesota was keeping Rudy, I like Minnesota more. But at the end of the day, for him to have other destinations that were willing to send more, and him being like, nah, I don't want to go there. I'm not coming to your team. Don't take that trade because I don't want to go there. So I'm not gonna re-up with them until like he got the favorable Green and Brooks. Yeah, I we could do that. That's wild, man. That's insane. Might have to have some player empowerment combos over the summer again, man. I don't know if I like that. I'm a Durant guy though, so it is what it is.
That is wild for sure.
Say that one more time.
Hey, Twin, you up here
Who's
still?
speaking? I can't hear somebody.
Yeah, I don't think nobody talking. Hey, Twin,
Uh, yo, yeah, I'm here.
you can feel free to talk about the series overall with the Pacers and Thunder, in Game 7, and ultimately, bless YouTube with your thoughts on the KD and the Rockets trade.
Oh yeah, I got you, brother. Appreciate it. My opinion on the series, yeah, going seven. I mean, it was a wonderful series. Like, I'm not gonna lie, watching this series, I was very much enjoyed. Like, bruh, I was chilling at homie's crib the other night, bruh. Like, every play design, like, the only part it was really got me mad was the Rick Carlisle going away from only playing Siakam like 3 minutes in that third quarter where they were down 4 points and it was like a must-win game. That's why I was saying it the other day. I think it was a Denver series. Shea might need to play 44 minutes, and niggas got mad. I was like, 48 minutes. It's an elimination game, but I seen Bron do it. I was just saying, like, bruh, you gotta play your guys. That, bro, it's a game 7. Hallie got hurt. Pascal should not be nowhere near 30. He should be playing
Facts.
high 40s, 44, 43. I don't care. I don't want to see no Ben Shepherd. I don't want to see no 11, 10 man fucking what's his name, Tony Bryant or whatever. I don't even know
Thomas
what
Bryant.
he's. I
Thomas
don't
Bryant.
even know. No, not Thomas Bryant. I'm talking Bradley
Tony
something.
Bradley. Yeah.
Bro, I don't even know Tony Bradley was in the league. Like, bro, what are we doing, Rick Carlisle? Your experience. Why are you playing so far in your rotation? Buddy wasn't even getting minutes. I feel like
Facts.
Nemhard, when he was having the ball, same with Pascal, they were making plays. TJ McConnell, he had a couple turnovers with the inbound play where Caruso or Queso Wallace picked off. It was a couple plays where they were picking him up full court because they knew he was the only threat. You have to adjust. Okay, yo, they playing TJ McConnell this way. Let's get the ball to Pascal on the block. Are they double teaming Pascal? Okay, let's go away from this action. It felt like they kept playing the game where OKC was comfortable. Like, they were getting easy steals in transition. The live ball turnover. They had 8 turnovers in one quarter, and OKC had 0. Like, I'm like, bruh. And then OKC on what's it called, on offense. Bruh, Lou Dort made a three where he fumbled a ball top of the key, rainbow. If you watch the ABC ESPN angle, the camera wasn't even in frame when he made this three. Then he hit the jelly reverse layup. Oh my God. I was like, bruh. But to be fair though,
Wait, Lou Dort had a jelly reverse layup yesterday?
It was a tough finish. He
I'm
was up and
I
under
missed
on
that.
top of him.
Nah, it was a reverse layup. You right,
Yeah,
twin.
he had a
Yeah,
reverse
yeah,
layup.
yeah. It was a tough finish. I'm like, bruh, this nigga's moving different. Like, bruh, no funny last night, bruh. It was Rick Carlisle. I'm not blaming McConnell for the turnovers. I'm not blaming Pascal because of the minutes. I'm blaming the coach, Rick Carlisle. You're an experienced coach. You play 0 minutes of zone. Bruh, OKC has been struggling against a zone defense. Hold up, I gotta do something real quick. But listen, take it away from me. I'm gonna pull back up.
No, yeah, Tween's right about that. Rick got completely outcoached in Game 7. He should have gave Pascal way more minutes. He should have stopped sticking with Ben Shepherd. We told about this on Game 5. I was worried about Rick. And honestly, you can see why in starting Dallas and Rick actually part of it. Because Rick clearly, he doesn't do too well in like when plan A doesn't work for him. And he needed Hallie to be healthy. That was the game plan around him. And when Hallie got hurt, everything just went to shit. And it's unfortunate. But yeah, he got massively outcoached. But fair play to Mark. I was shitting on Mark too from OKC. I thought he was getting outcoached too. But he showed up in Game 7. He had a good game plan after Hallie got hurt. They took advantage of double teaming TJ, who can't pass the ball at all, which was always a problem for TJ. But TJ got the buckets, and yeah, Siakam went away. They immediately got their starters on and got on a run, and they got the ring. So fair play.
Yeah, we was watching the game together, and I think me and Ted were like, "Bro, where's Siakam at?" Like, even my man C-Dub, shout out to C-Dub. We like, "Where's Siakam at, gang?" I pull up my phone. Shaggy said he got 0 fouls, right? I pull up my phone. I see Siakam checked out at 7:53. He didn't come back in until like 2 minutes or something like that. It just made no sense to me, literally at all. And I'm in the kitchen. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all don't gotta sit in silence. Somebody put in a comment or say something real quick, by the way.
I think one thing that's interesting, and Tween kind of brought this up, is how will Nemhard look on the Pacers without Hallie? Like some people were, I disagree strongly with those comparisons, but some people were saying Nemhard could be like the Brunson to Halliburton being the Luka for like the Pacers, and seeing like how his playmaking and how everything will work together when he had more of the ball and stuff. But we'll see that next season for sure. We'll see how Nemhard really looks without Hallie and if he's actually like on that level by himself. But I personally don't see it. I don't think he'll ever be a Jalen Brunson kind of player. I don't think his playmaking is even good enough to be a Brunson. And he does have some nice step backs. That shot before halftime was really nice and stuff like that. But I just don't see him as being that number one option that Brunson has shown he can be at times for the Knicks. So that would be interesting, though.
Oh yeah, nah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm with you too.
I don't think that's even a realistic. I don't even know if that should be a real combo. Like,
Cause,
yeah,
when
Nemhard's not gonna be able.
No, yeah, Tween brought it up, but like someone
Yeah.
else made that comparison. I was like,
yeah, we
yeah,
was having that combo. Yeah.
yeah.
But to be fair though, all of those type of players, when Brunson was playing next to Luka, when James was playing next to KD, Kyrie, you can see their on off when those quote unquote stars and they were leading the bench units, their scoring efficiency was absurd. When Brunson, I mean when Nemhard is playing without Hallie, you cannot say that. Even though it was a different offense and when they play the non-Hallie minutes is more Pascal centric. I
Yeah,
just
I
don't think
strongly
he
agree.
has that gear when Hallie's out to really thread. Even when out Pascal was there, I don't think he has that extra gear. He's still a good player, but he doesn't have that type of next level to be a Brunson or to be one of them players where you go to a different situation. You're that guy, the number one guy. I don't think that's him.
Yeah, that's facts. I agree with Tween on that. I just thought that was an interesting like combo people were having, and I think it will be fully exposed like whether we were all wrong about Nemhard not being like that kind of player, or if we were completely right and he's just a really good role player next to Hallie and stuff like that.
Chris Paul, you are a Pacer. Nah, I don't know, man.
I don't like Chris Paul.
I just
Fuck,
feel bad
bring
for
Russ
him.
to the
My
Pacers.
dog just
A
came up
lot
here,
of
man.
Nah,
sad to say this.
Russ can never.
A
Bro.
lot of niggas' value just went up with all these point guards
My
getting hurt.
dog, good.
Dane got hurt out of Milwaukee now. Pascal, what's it called? Halliburton. Tatum, they need a point. Tatum was their
Yeah,
point guard in Boston. He was the
yeah,
point
you
forward.
ain't
Like,
wrong. It wasn't White. It was actually Tatum for the most part.
yeah, they was
And then
playing point
facilitating.
like So 3 PG just got hurt. Really, point forward type
Twin,
niggas.
they say you a curse, twin.
My
They
dog
say you a
Bro,
good.
curse,
nah,
My
twin.
bro, why,
dog
bro?
good.
Nah,
Am I
twin, we're still
tripping or
gonna
did I
cook the
see an
strips,
8 of
bro. We're
8
gonna
of
cook the
They
strips.
$27?
say
Dog
you a curse,
good.
twin.
Did I see
They
8 of
say you a
27?
curse, crazy.
Hey, what's good, champ? What's up, champ? Established. What's good, champ? What's up, nigga? What's
Nigga
up?
think
Like,
he
what's
on the
going on,
team.
man?
Right now, let me chill out.
From
Shout out, good.
from
Shout out,
22
established.
wins to
Shout out,
NBA
West.
champion, man.
Man,
How
nigga,
that
these niggas
feel,
don't
gang?
even know, bro.
Nah,
How
Like,
to
that
be
feel,
fair,
gang?
the curse is canceled. Like it is canceled this year. Like I'm not saying it's over with, but I'm saying like the Holly injury canceled it though.
Oh
No,
man,
shit! So
yeah,
you
it's
saying it's
canceled.
still
It's
it's
mwah,
still in
canceled.
the air?
man, I love, bro,
Yeah, it's still in the air.
It's
having a
still the
chip,
curse shit's still in the air. Bet.
No.
having a championship the day after just feels so like it just feels so nice, bro. Like, nigga, I woke up this morning, bro, like felt like sunshine was just shining down on me, nigga. Like, best sleep I've ever had, bro. Like, this shit is amazing. This shit is amazing. Nigga, when I lost 2 straight Super Bowls, bro, I woke up like gloomy, just in a bad mood, nigga. I feel amazing right now. Like, nigga, you know how much shit I had to go through with all you niggas in here, bro? OKC not gonna do this. Jada not no second option. He not gonna do this. We not gonna win because we young. This and that, and that. Man, so much bullshit, bro. Oh my god, I love it, bro. I just love it. I love it. I love it. Shout out to Shay, man. MVP, Finals MVP, scoring title. Like, god damn. Amazing season by this nigga, bro. I can't believe niggas was comparing him to Luka Doncic. That bum ass nigga. Leave that fat ass nigga in LA over there. Never compare because he will never get a championship.
Cook,
Bum.
cook, cook.
You just won a
Cook to
championship and
be
you
Fuck
making
fair,
that
about
cook.
nigga.
Luca?
Cook.
That's good. Nah, he
Fuck
not
that
lying
nigga.
though.
Twin, I'm
You just
with
won a
you. I'm
championship
with
and you
you,
making about
twin.
Luca?
Fuck that nigga. Fuck that
You
nigga.
not in
I just
these
had to
talks,
say
bro. He
that.
laughed
Just
Bro,
him.
had
that's
to
so
say that.
crazy, bro.
When,
Like,
Shout out to
when you saying
you
Book
really
wins,
wiped that
he
nigga
laughs
down.
dudes. You gotta talk about Buddy. They had him in the combos.
shout out to some of my dog Swiper, man. I know you mad as shit right now. Number 15. We got the same championships as number 15, bitch. Be mad, nigga. All them tweets you was making. Mad as shit, nigga. And we coming for another one next year. Be mad
You're
about
not
it.
getting one
Fuck
next
is you
year unless
talking
you
about?
improve your
Stop
team.
Now you
crying,
lost me.
Cook.
Spurs.
Now you
Stop
lost me.
Yeah,
crying,
Now
tween.
you
nigga.
That's what I'm
lost me.
saying. Tween. That's what I'm
Spurs,
saying,
you
bro. We're not
mad
done
as
with them.
shit, nigga.
I was saying this shit
Spurs, you
before.
mad as
I was
hell.
saying this shit before, tween.
Spurs, you know what you was telling me? Oh, we're not gonna win. You know you're not gonna win.
What?
Y'all
Fuck
thought
What
it
that.
was
did
a
I
five
Now we
game
say?
got the
series though. Stop,
championship.
stop. Hold on. You can't pop your shit if you the nigga that said this going
Man,
game
shut
five
your
I don't
five.
ass up,
care if
nigga.
this was
Shut
a
up. Shut
10
up. Shut
game
up.
series,
Tween,
nigga.
You
tween,
said
you're
it's a
beneath me.
gentleman's sweep.
You're beneath me today, Tween. You're beneath me. You're beneath me, but you're a
You
harder
my
champ.
brother though. I
You're
love
a
you, but
harder
like,
champ.
bruh,
You haven't seen a ring, nigga.
Good. You said
You
you
haven't
would win
seen
game
a
bruh,
one,
we,
ring,
bro. You
nigga.
still
bruh.
ain't
You know,
respond from that.
hold on. Like no troll shit. You know what they getting off on OKC Twitter.
You
I don't gotta do nothing. They calling that nigga better than Brody. So we might throw some on the cookout. Throw some on the
so
grill.
What is that telling me, bro?
What you mean, nigga? That
What
shit.
is that
You
telling
why
me?
not, nigga? Watch back.
I just
I'll tell
told
you
you,
right
bro.
now,
Like, it
good.
was gonna happen regardless if he won the chip. Like, nobody's mad about him being the best OKC player. Russ is forever stamped in OKC history, nigga.
You can be stamped,
Forever.
but his mentor CP3, that shit. I know that shit bothers you. When
Bro,
they when
what?
you
Why?
when they talk about CP3 as his mentor, that's his big homie. He don't know you, bruh.
Why
I'm
would
He
not
he
gonna
your
know
lie
me,
though.
point
bro?
He
guard.
didn't get to mentor Shea though. He got to mentor,
You ain't
but
you
Russ
ain't
didn't get to
mentor
mentor
him,
anybody.
bruh. That's not you can't call him big homie if you not really his big homie.
Bro, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm so confused, bro. Like,
I don't know.
what
Yeah,
is
tween.
going
I'm not
on?
with you on that one. I'm not with you on that one.
I'm
Russ,
bullshitting.
like,
I'm
none of
bullshitting.
that
I'm
matters.
bullshitting.
Like,
I'm
Russ,
bullshitting. Don't take me serious right now. I'm
Russ
bullshitting.
is stamped, like he said. Russ is gonna have a statue one day.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's
Yes, sir.
good. We don't have to worry about none
Don't
of that.
take nothing serious. We
We
are
don't have to
trolling right
worry
now.
about none of that. Russ completed history
Hey, low key, Russ to the Rockets
while
actually.
donning an OKC jersey. He gave us real historic moments, you
Bro, he
know.
gave us everything,
So
we
bro.
about
Big
to
up
have
and
Russ.
that.
then
He
We
and
about
should
then
to
forever be
Shay
celebrated.
came.
Big up, bro.
Shay hoisted a fucking what's that? Larry OB.
yeah.
Come
So
on, man.
bring him back in free agency then. Get him a ring.
No,
Nah, he can't go like that. He got to go to a team that has a
Nah,
winning
Ev,
no.
he's going to the Rockets, bro. He's gonna
Nah,
eliminate
but
them. He's
Ed,
gonna
you know
eliminate
I
them.
was with him coming home, but I don't think he can come home after we won a championship. That shit won't be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
going to the Rockets,
that's
knock you
kind
guys
of like
out.
iffy after. Yeah,
He's gonna
like
join Houston, knock you guys out, boy.
You
and the
know
thing
what?
about
You know what? I wouldn't mind it, bro.
and
Fuck
what's
it.
crazy is I actually think he would help us, bro. Like we
Yeah.
got no ball
Like a James
handling,
Johnson type role,
no,
like a leadership from the background.
Nah, Houston
no
actually
nigga,
needs a
no
ball
nigga. He
handler.
Oh,
will
you
be
talking
a
about him getting minutes?
nigga. He will be a real player on the
Hold on, hold
team.
on,
You
hold
know
on. Is
how
he getting minutes over Casey Wallace? I
that's
say, Joe, like whose minutes is getting cut?
but why are you acting like Russ can't play over Kaysen though? Like what the fuck,
On God, he can't. Casey Wallace? On God, he can't.
bro? He wouldn't bro.
Russ is a
Obviously,
better facilitator than
there
Kaysen.
would be some games. Obviously, Kaysen would definitely play over him, and there would be some games Russ would just be
Kaysen's
better.
nice though. Let's not
Like,
say
bro,
Bro,
come on,
Casey
bro.
Wallace should play every game over him.
Bro, Russ is a better player than Kaysen, and Kaysen is an amazing player. But Russ is still a better. I feel like you niggas just underrate Russ
But
for
did you
no
watch
fucking
Casey
reason.
Wallace last night?
He was phenomenal, but there was
Did
shout
you
out
watch
games he
Kaysen,
was
Casey
by the
still
way.
Wallace during the playoffs?
like, what the
No,
fuck
no,
are you
no. No,
talking
he's been
about,
bricking. I've been saying in the regular season.
So that's the point. I don't care who's better as a player, but to act like Russ, he couldn't be additive because if Kaysen is going to be really good defensively. If Kaysen isn't making shots, oftentimes he's offering you nothing offensively. And Russ, granted, he could be a terrible shooter. Russ could still offer things offensively that
Yeah, I'm
Casey
with
could
Wes
just
on
never
that. I'm
dream
with
of
Wes on that.
on a consistent basis. Like it's so odd how like when players are old, I see how the community treats them, and it's like,
It
yo,
is pretty
you
nasty.
washed up, nigga. What you do well, we don't even rate anymore. And when players are young, they get all the praise and adulation for the things they do well, and the things they don't do well, nobody really cares about.
Nah,
And
you
then
right.
so, you know,
You right. No funny, you right.
Man, we framing Alex Caruso's headband up in the rafters, brother. I don't know what you guys are
bro?
talking
That
about.
nigga,
That's
bro,
facts. That's facts.
bro. Shout out to Josh Giddy for getting us
Great
Caruso.
trade by the
What's going on
OKC.
with Dort though? Y'all paying him all that money?
What are you talking?
Mm.
What are you
Let's talk
talking about?
about it.
Why you
Nigga,
say it like that?
he's still under contract for I think
Yeah, what you
2
mean
more
by
years.
Dort?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what do you
Like
mean?
I'm pretty sure somebody tweeted out he's extension eligible or something.
Bro,
They better not give him an extension.
He's
They're
still
rude, but
under
they give him an
contract,
extension.
bro.
No, but I'm talking about bro. You could get paid
But gang,
throughout your time.
even if he's extension eligible right now, I don't know if that's true or not. That's not something that they're going to prioritize getting done. Like
Yeah,
they don't
don't
have to.
prioritize that. Don't
They don't
prioritize
have
that.
to do that this offseason. It's not like
I
Facts,
it has
mean,
to happen.
facts,
we
facts.
could do it early to like not pay him a
If
lot of
that's
money.
your offseason
One, thi-
extending freaking Dort, that's a
One
horrible offseason.
thing about Dort, and he gets shit on a lot by a lot of people, including me. The nigga, he shows up when it matters, bro. Like that's been him his whole fucking career. He shows up when it matters, and he showed up in that fucking finals when we needed him. When we had no shooting outside of no shooting at all,
Caruso.
nigga. There's not
Yeah,
I
even a
thought it.
Caruso is the only consistent
yeah.
shooter this playoffs.
It was
Yeah, I'm with you on
Caruso
that.
was
I'm
like
with you on that.
obviously the other. He was the only other consistent player outside of Shea, and if you want to say J Dub, he was really the only consistent guy. Like which was insane. But Lou showed up in the finals for us when we needed some 3-point shooting, even when Caruso wasn't making his. When Kaysen, Joe, Wiggins, like none of those guys were making their threes, he showed
Why
up,
you leave 7 out of this?
bro. Because he wasn't as consistent as those other three.
No, but I'm saying you're
But he's
talking about the
also just
inconsistent
naming like
shooters.
true role players, not like
Yeah, I'm
top
naming
three
the role
guys on
players,
our
bro. That
roster.
That's
Oh,
not
he not a
smart.
role player on offense?
Who?
You know what? Like
bro,
Chet.
this
it
nigga,
like no funny, bro. There are days to troll. The day to troll is not when your guy gets passed up for all time in history, bro. It's not the day,
By
bro.
Chet. He got passed up by Chet. That's what
He
because we
got
talking
passed
about
up
Chet.
by Shea, and
What does that have to do with
we
the
are
Chet
hoisting the
convo?
Larry OB. So it's
Brother,
not the
what
day
does
to
that have to
troll.
do with this
I'm
Chet
just saying it's
convo?
not the day to troll. No matter what
Okay,
player you're
my
trolling,
fault.
you're trolling a player on OKC's roster who's a champion. Something your guy doesn't have, right?
Come on, I'm sure you
Damn.
can establish degrees that
Okay.
Chet combos are nasty. Let's not do this. It doesn't
Trolling the
matter if you
nigga
guys
who
won
can
the
show
game.
up in game sevens, unlike your guy, right?
Damn.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
my god.
What he
You really
shot
about to
8
compare
of?
Chet to Wemby?
Okay,
We
my
doing
fault.
this? We doing this right now?
We
Nah,
doing
I'm talking.
efficiency
You were
talks in the
trolling
game
Chet,
seven of the
right? You were
finals.
Efficiency
trolling
talks
Chet.
after
What did
game
Chet do
seven.
Efficiency
yesterday in
talks,
game
Nah,
Yeah,
bro.
Chet
7?
hooped yesterday. I gave him
Oh
credit.
no.
I didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
shit. I
Nah,
didn't
but
say shit, bro.
that wasn't even for you, Spurs. That was between Mr. Hezzy. Talk to us.
He was finna say efficiency talks in game
Oh,
seven.
okay, okay, okay.
like nigga, we don't do no efficiency talk of the game seven. Nigga, you know what the fuck this is? Come
Lord
on,
have
bro.
mercy, bro.
Let's be serious here, bro. Empty the clip, nigga. Win the game. Fuck it. That's all that
Yo,
matters.
when Lou Dort hit that rainbow bullshit three, yo, I fell to the ground, brother. I can't
Bro,
lie to
I
you.
Bro,
felt,
I was
bro.
so
Oh
mad
my
seeing him
god.
pull the shot, and then when he hit it, I was like, all right, it's out there. When he, I
But he
was like,
fumbled
it's
the
out
ball,
there.
and it was like 3 on the clock. I mean, he had to get it up, but oh my, the shot wasn't even in the frame. The shot literally, when it was at the apex, it literally was not in the camera frame, bro.
Bruh. Let me
Bro,
just say, I'm happy by the way this series went because I already know we're gonna get even better in the off season because I know Sam was watching that shit. The nigga was taking down notes in the finals, bro.
Yep. Okay. I'm with you on that,
That
Goods. If you
nigga,
guys improve, you guys can win next year.
yeah, he was taking down notes in the fucking finals. We couldn't shoot a lick. We had no ball, no true ball handler outside of two
Thank you,
niggas.
Goods. Thank you.
Like
Same.
Jesus, bro. Like the offense was so shitty,
You guys were
but
ass. Let's be
defense
real. Offense.
carried, bro. The defense really fucking carried that series. Like it was bad. So I know we're gonna go into the lab, get better, get some more shooting, get some more ball handling, hopefully.
Goods. That's why
Get
I
next year
said you guys
strong.
need to get better, or you're not winning a ring next year. It's facts. If you keep this same lineup, you're not winning a ring. You guys have to improve, and that's nothing crazy about that because you guys probably will.
Yeah, you should get better every single year.
Facts, Goods.
No
Don't do what the Celtics
matter
did.
what.
That's why they ain't got a ring this year. Don't do what the Celtics did. Don't get complacent. Improve your team. Don't just draft people and hope the draft picks improve. You got to trade them now. Trade them for good players.
Yeah, bro. If I'm Sam, I'm shopping for like the best ball handler on the market, nigga.
listen,
But
man.
I know they're so high on Topich that I guess they're gonna wait for him, whatever. Like they just always talk about Topich and like the guard that he's just so good. He's like a
You
seasoned
don't need to
veteran.
trade Topic. You just need to trade your this year's picks. You got 15
Yeah,
picks
yeah.
already.
If I'm them, if we don't get there's three guys I want. There's three guys. I want either Colin Murray. I want what's his name? Cedric Coward. Or I think I want Jace. I think
I
I
still
want
don't think that wins you a ring, but I mean,
those
I
three.
get it. I get it. Yeah, those are good picks. Those are good
I
picks.
would go heavy defense first, and then I would probably trade like a later pick or something for a ball because I think they just think Tobich is just really damn good. So they're thinking we have our shit in that. So I would go heavy defense, and then I would go probably shooting later in the draft. Or if we don't get Colin Murray, I would just get both in Jace and go another guard who could create and shoot, and that's how I do it. But I
Nah,
see Sam
I trade the picks for Cam Johnson or something. That's what I would do. But
I just know he's not going to trade for Cam Johnson. I know he's not.
who's he
Like
going to trade for?
he would
Like
have
who's
did it.
your Caruso trade this for next summer?
Yeah, he would have did it. He would have did it mid-season if he was going to do Cam Johnson. I thought he was thinking about it, but him not doing it just shows me like they don't want any large contracts.
So
So
Trey Murphy's also a no then.
What's up with I heard though? Like no troll
I
shit.
would personally do it. I would do it for Trey Murphy though, like
Yeah, that's
because
what I'm saying.
that's a player that could like if you have like a core four of
He could be a
Shea,
third option. Yeah.
Trey, Chet, and J Dub, yeah, that's a core four that it don't really matter like how great the other players are around you. You could get away with it.
I
Um,
don't know.
to me, it works out because I think
I
Trey
Me
Murphy.
think,
personally,
but
I would disagree
knowing
with that.
Sam, and I think one of the things he probably feels like he's learned from the first time Goods
Yeah,
is you. I think he's looking at this and obviously understanding the CBA and everything, and it's like, yo, I have my three. Everyone outside of that almost has to be interchangeable, and we have to be in a position to where each year we could try to potentially replace. And I think to that point, why, although I disagree, with some of the people who are on our draft board, I think that's a reason why you'll see a CMB talks of us trading up to get a player like him, because it's like, yo, if we lose a Caruso, granted, and I don't think he's as good as Caruso, I don't think he will be, but you bring in a player like him. If you lose an iHeart, you move Chet and you bring in a player like CMB who could be a small ball five, maybe. I don't know if he can be that. I don't like a lot of people are confident with Draymond.
I think he's that good that he could be a small ball. His defense is crazy for
But
his height.
see, and
But you guys need
if that
shooting, though.
ends
You
up
guys
being the
don't need
case,
that.
I think that's how Sam is
Yeah,
approaching this. Is my point.
yeah. Like, nah, I agree with you. I agree with you. That might be the case, bro. Like, we never might make a big splash. It might just be hope for Chet and J Dub improvements. Just draft really good around them, and that originally was my thought anyway. But like, I'm thinking like
I
I
don't think
wouldn't
that's a
go.
good idea for you guys. I'll be real. I don't see you winning a ring that way next year, at least. You could win one maybe in 2 years that way after they develop, but
I don't know.
you
I
guys
think we
can't
could
stay
because
put. You guys got to get better every single season. Like you did the Caruso trade last year. You did the Hartenstein signing. You guys got to do some similar shit in the free agency. You can't just be complacent and draft some players and hope they are win now players here.
Bro, that is not true. You said it earlier, and I just don't agree. Like, because his position is, since the Rockets got KD, if we don't make a move, the Rockets
I
are
think
trash
Rockets
next
will
year.
make moves though.
nah, we're still better than the Rockets. The Rockets are really good though, but we're still better than them though. Like, but I told nigga I'm the nigga that was hyping the Rockets if they get KD. I said they'll be definitely top 2 to 3 in the conference for me personally, just by
No,
the way
good.
they
My main
play.
thing isn't actually about the Rockets. It's just I don't think teams repeat unless they strongly improve upon their last year's roster. If you keep the same roster and draft picks, unless it's like a freaking super team like the Warriors with KD, I don't see them repeating, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Now I hear you, but no matter what, we're gonna be better next year because remember
Yeah,
this is a young team you're talking about. Like, and Chet, obvious he definitely wasn't 100%
I
there
also and I also
offensively
think to
at
add to that,
all,
to add to that,
and he's gonna get better. J Dub, he's gotten better every single year. I know he's gonna get better. Shea gets better every single year. I know he's probably gonna get better because there's a lot of shit he can work on. Like
That is true. Good speaking
every
facts.
Nah, yeah, that's
everything.
facts. I agree
Yeah,
with
especially
that.
they
they
are
will
getting
especially
they
the
better.
will get
blanket,
better.
especially the
Like
blanket
They're
sometimes
gonna
people
get
guard.
better. Hold up, but what are y'all doing with? Are y'all gonna keep y'all same rotation or the double big lineup? Because I feel like y'all really won a chip. Maybe it was just against the Pacers. It was that series. It was his series. That series. You know, like everybody's gonna be a different series. Or do you think that's gonna be sustainable for next year? Like, is it iHeart gonna be in the mix? Because I feel like y'all really won without that nigga. The last two series.
I think
I mean,
AJ been saying this literally all year. He hates iHeart because like all our best lineups and consistently have been with Chet at the 5. And that's exactly why I want to get that nigga CMB, bro. Like, I want to pivot away from that iHeart at the 5 shit, unless like it's a matchup to where like it's mandatory. And I don't even think it's mandatory versus the Nuggets, but let's just say it's mandatory. And like I just want to completely go away from that shit. It
So, what
clogs
team
the
in the East has a need at the 5 that makes sense to trade Alhart to?
a team in the East. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't want to trade him. Like, I wouldn't trade him in the West unless it's a team that we feel truly can't. Like, it doesn't
Boston too.
matter. They can't compete with us.
Let me see. Let me see. Uh,
Would you guys do iHeart for Turner? I don't know. That doesn't sound good.
I mean,
maybe
No,
the
depending on how
Magic. The
Vucevic.
Magic need a center, like a real one.
you said Boston and the Knicks. The Knicks don't
The
have
Knicks,
anything I
no.
want though.
Nah, Knicks are not gonna. No.
Depending on how the Bulls deal with Vucevic, he could do that.
Atlanta's a good one, but what would you
I
trade
mean,
for?
how many years does Mikal have left? I wouldn't mind Mikal. I don't think they would do that though. I don't think they would
Yeah,
trade
I don't think they
Mikal
would do
for
that.
Alhart. Not straight up, at least.
Um,
No, we're doing trades. What would Atlanta offer for Hartenstein? I don't see anything.
Atlanta. That's the thing. Atlanta might really go all in for next year if they're gonna keep Trey Young, bro.
But how would they do that? How would they pull that trade off?
I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to see. I don't even know who's on there. Like,
They
I
have Reese
wouldn't
Shea.
trade
He's
with
nice.
Atlanta.
Okay.
I want
Okongwu?
to trade with Atlanta no matter what. Like Jalen Johnson is the only player I want on their roster,
Ooh,
but
Jalen
again, we're
Johnson's a
not
good
getting
is he?
Jalen Johnson, so there's no point.
Jalen
I
Johnson's
really
a good
want a
one.
four. I want a four who ideally could stretch, but even if he can't,
Jalen Johnson
just
on the
a
hook is
full
nice.
real size 6'8", 6'9",
Yeah.
hopefully. At least.
But I don't think
And
Atlanta.
someone with a solid wingspan and somebody who could knock down a shot occasionally. If we're gonna pivot away from Ahart, who has a contract that is movable. 30 million. You could get a good player back
I
in
know the
return.
Lakers want a center bad.
When I
Would you
look
take
in
I'm
anybody
the
on the
not
Lakers?
trading
East,
with the
when I
Lakers.
look in the East, the only team that
Treating the
pops
Lakers
out
like
of
we the
me is
Spurs.
the Magic, bro.
Bears.
Only team that pops out the Magic. That's it.
Yeah, the Magic don't have anything.
They don't have anything in that I really, really want though.
I mean, Boston, 11-10 is right, Boston, but I don't want KP.
What about D White?
They wouldn't trade D White for Ahart.
Yeah, they
They
wouldn't.
wouldn't, they wouldn't
And
trade.
I don't want Drew either. It's like, so I don't see a, you know,
Yeah, I think our
that's
heart's
tough.
staying, bro.
Unfortunate.
You wouldn't want Drew?
No,
Nah, I,
no.
I, I could see his utility, but nah, because I already think we have a log jam. Like one of the issues, we need to weed out some of our guards. Like I think we have too many players who are similar, like facsimiles of one another, all
Yeah,
around the same height, have the same strengths, have the same weaknesses. We've got to get away from that. We truly, to me, we have to go get a four. And Sam, granted, he got us a championship. He knows more about roster construction and everything than I do for sure. But it seems like a mistake to go into the next season and not actually have a four on our roster. And I don't think we have a power forward. Like
I
Kim,
agree.
outside of Kenrich Williams, maybe, and like obviously he's not, So I don't think we have a four, and I think that's a problem. I don't think you could just continue to do this because it's not optimal, especially when we don't shoot well enough. That's why I'm still
Mm-hmm.
not opposed to the Cam Johnson thing. I would much rather us like fuck a CMB. Go get Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, West. But that's why I'm
Yeah,
saying, like,
I would trade Hartenstein
no,
100.
but who on OKC is guarding KD though? That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys don't have a four. Is it
That
gonna be
doesn't
Shaq?
matter. KD, you don't even need that for KD. What you need for KD is people who are strong and people
Mm-hmm.
who have lateral quickness and who have leverage over KD. KD, you're better served to put a guy like J-Dub on KD. J-Dub will do better than just having a four if they're not like size isn't the thing that really disrupts KD.
Yeah.
KD gets disrupted by guys who cut off
Like
his
Dort?
dribble lanes.
Dort would
So you can't dribble on him. Guys who are stocky. You said Dort. I like Dort as a name. I like J-Dub as a name. Guys who move quick laterally. Yeah, that's what'll give KD trouble.
Yeah. You seen Caruso give him problems at times.
Yeah.
People
To be fair,
forget
So
Caruso
that.
does give him trouble.
that's
Yeah.
not an
Yeah.
issue. That's why I don't really like. Again, I fuck with. Obviously, I fuck with him, but come on, man. These niggas are launching missiles. Lord have mercy. It's not the show, but my gosh. And breaking news: Hallie he did sustain the torn right Achilles, which
Oh
we
God.
all.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. Him, Dame, and Tatum more than one playoffs is just ridiculous.
Nah, one playoff is insane, bro.
One
And
playoffs,
didn't
bro.
they all come from? Nah, I don't think Tatum had the calf strain, but
Yeah,
Dame and Harden both had the calf
yeah.
strains, which is like now they're gonna look at those calf strains. Niggas are not gonna be playing on those, bro.
Yeah, them injuries might turn into like some 2 to 4 weeks type of thing. To be honest,
Yeah,
if longer, if needed be to be long, if needed to be longer, it will be. But because like shit, bro, that's too risky now. And I think I understand why Holly played. Holly knew what the possibility was. Holly
mm-hmm.
knew what could happen. So but he just felt like the moment he got to capitalize right now. But man, that alters careers, bro. Like it alters careers, it alters performances, it alters the level of play that you can reach at the highest of highs. And Holly was by the trend to being one of the better point guards in the league from a floor general perspective, pass perspective, even shot, even in some sense, like shot making. Like his
And he had
three-point
decent
shot.
athleticism too. Like he's defensively, he was decent this playoffs. Like he's gonna be a lot worse
That too.
without that.
But
Yeah, he already
granted,
struggled.
Holly can come back and still look good. So and same for Tatum, same for Dame. I don't want to write those fellas off, especially the ones that's lower. I mean, younger than 30. While Dame is in his mid 30s. But those two fellas that are named Holly and Tatum, they're both still.
Did his mic go out?
Yeah, my mic went out. My bad. I'm charging my phone. But yeah, man, it's tough.
I'm a little worried about Dame, but the other two, I think. But the thing about Hallie though, bro, like he didn't have that much burst to begin with.
His game exactly.
So it's like that just is that's tough, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's actually gonna be a huge pain for Howie, bro.
I hope
that shit slows niggas, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it literally slows niggas. Like you get slower. Like that steps go down a notch. Like go down a little bit.
And you could just see, like, as soon as it happened, bro, it's like
he knew what it was. I mean, it was he even looked back, like if you look back and you hear that pop, it's crazy how it all happens to everybody that it happens to. They all look back.
Yeah, they all know. It's crazy.
That shit is sad, bro. These calf strains, bro. Like, you can't play your players on them no more. This shit is over with.
Nah,
a lot of people gonna change that up in the offseason, like, because torn Achilles being something that can happen, especially, I think he had a grade. What was it? A grade 2 calf strain, I think. I don't even know what grade it was.
I can't remember what he had, but they said the calf strain that he did have, he was supposed to be out for multiple weeks for it. Like that's what Rick said. Like, it was a multiple week type of thing. So it's tough, man.
Yeah, it's just sad. I hope it'll be good, bro.
But Miles, what's good, Miles? What you got to say about it? You can talk about the KD trade. You can talk about the series. You can talk about Game 7. You can talk about the final. What you got to say?
Shit, I'm gonna go with in order of how this shit happened. So I'm gonna speak to the KD.
Damn, Miles, he was supposed to be the next up and coming young team, man. What happened?
Established. Leave me alone. 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 But nah. Shout out to the Rockets for making that move. I mean, the offer, the price for KD was just so low they couldn't pass it up, and them being able to keep all of Phoenix first round picks for the next 2 years, keeping Jabari, keeping their better young guys, and just getting off a dude they want to trade anyway, and getting off Dylan Brooks is, I mean, a win in my eyes. I don't know what the hell the Suns are doing. They look like a team that made a mistake and have been trying to cover up that mistake with other mistakes for the past couple of years. I honestly feel bad for Devin Booker. I don't care if I was him. I know he liked being in Phoenix, like the area, like the team, like the organization, all the other shit. But at some point, I feel like he has to prioritize his career when it comes to trying to win. So I think he should get out of there. Regardless of how he feels about staying in Phoenix and being loyal to the organization. I feel like he needs to get out of there. But the Rockets just got me. They're for real. I mean, I say they for real, but they're the better basketball team now. I just feel like they need somebody that can make, and that'll be the last missing piece that they need. But yeah, but nah. So to Game 7, I mean, it was expecting a good one, bro. Expecting a good one. Hallie came out talking shit. Man, Hadley came out hooping. The game was great. Then he got hurt. Then I'm like, all right. The Pacers really only put up a fight really for a half, and then the usual defense from OKC where they make you turn over the ball. All of it came in a third, and SGA took over, and you had J-Dub and flashes. But shout out to them. Small market team. Two small market teams. Small market team winning their first championship. Some shit that you can't laugh at. SGA did some historical shit all season. The really, really good basketball team. They were the best team in the league at the beginning of the beginning of the season, and they're the last team standing now. So shout out to Wes and Established. But yeah,
You missing one, nigga.
Nah, nigga, fuck you. We
You
on to
missing
some
one,
next shit.
nigga.
Nah, bro, fuck you.
I know
Bro.
you mad as shit right now.
Why would I be mad?
Pissed
Nah,
off, nigga.
please,
You mad as shit.
Yeah, I'm mad at you that you get to celebrate this. That's what I'm mad at. Not the other two.
Yeah,
You
be mad, nigga.
alone.
Hey, Miles, don't
Yes,
worry. Don't worry. They're not winning a ring next
But
season.
nah, and honestly and truly, I mean, I don't see, I don't see nobody getting in the way of them trying to do this shit again. To be honest, I mean,
Damn.
people might say rock the Rockets, bro, but nah, bro, these folks young. I mean, I don't see how they shouldn't, especially if they can get out if they can get out the West again. They'll win another championship because the East so
Well,
weak,
yeah,
bro.
I agree. But are they gonna get out the West though?
They're not gonna put up a fight. But
I agree with that, Miles.
yeah,
But are they gonna get out the West though? Like,
Man, I
bro,
got to fuck the process, man. And B
bro, I'm
got
not,
no
bro,
excuses. And B got zero excuse next
bro.
year.
I'm not buying that Rocket shit, bro. I gotta see it on the basketball court. But like I said, shout out to West and Established. I know Established turned up because he lived there, lived in
And good. Say
OKC,
it.
all that shit. So shout out to my dog, man.
Hey, Miles, shake my hand, nigga.
No, fuck you.
Shake my hand. Stop being
No
pissed
sir,
off. Shake my
I'm
hand,
cool.
nigga.
I'm cool off of you, bro.
Clown.
You don't deserve this game. I ain't gonna lie.
Miles, just leave the stage, bro. It's all good.
You don't deserve. You don't deserve this, bro. We cool off you, gang. I ain't gonna do.
Clown.
Well, you don't. It's all right. It's all right, bro. Everybody else get to enjoy this.
Y'all funny as
This ain't for
hell.
you, gang. Yeah, nah.
Niggas like, hey, we respect Stab, we respect West.
No,
Fuck
sir.
all the
No.
mother OKC.
Nah, bro.
Hey, Good's a real one though, bruh. And Good sat
Nah,
through the trolls. And Goods. Don't forget, J-Dub not better than Cade. Don't forget.
Man, I'm not even gonna entertain these niggas no more.
Bro,
Don't
y'all
forget.
cannot,
I'm
you
not even about to
cannot
Don't
laugh
entertain
on
these
forget.
niggas
something.
no more, bro.
He
Don't
cannot
forget.
bring up something that he walked back on. He
I
walked back on
told
that and
you
said, "My
Don't
niggas,
bad."
forget.
bro.
He
I
facts,
walked back
Ev.
told
on
you
it and
Facts.
niggas.
said,
Look,
"My
Ev.
bad,
Listen,
bro."
Ev's
He literally
preaching.
did that.
this nigga K went up against the Pacers and shit the bed, nigga. Turnover after
He didn't pay the
turnover after
Pacers. He played the
turnover.
I
Knicks.
thought it was the Knicks.
Not the net, nigga, not the Pacers. The Knicks. I'm tripping. The Knicks. Turnover after turnover after turnover against that Knicks team, nigga. Looking shitty on offense,
They had
mid on
J-Dub.
defense.
They
Like the
Not
had
gonna
niggas
lie,
J-Dub.
he ain't
ass,
wrong.
nigga.
He ain't wrong.
My
We were
boy
having
J
time.
Dub pulled up in these playoffs and showed his ass, bro. Shout out to him.
We were
Other than like 4 games, 3-4 games of
He
that
only had
Nuggets
one
series.
bad
We gotta
series,
stop
bruh.
him. We gotta stop
Yeah, one
comparing
He
bad
only had
players.
one
series.
bad
We gotta
series,
stop
bruh.
comparing players that's not operating in the same fashion. Like one is playing alongside
Bro,
SG, a top
I
five
hate when
player in the
niggas
world.
say this. I hate when niggas say this.
No, because it's not. I don't think
I
it's
just
fair
don't
to
like
look
when
at.
niggas say this.
I
Bro,
Bro,
genuinely
what
don't
does
fair
that have
think.
to
I don't
do
think
with
it's
a
fair to
nigga
look
not
at.
able
We
to
were
finish?
comparing him
Bro,
with
he
Amin
can't.
Thompson before the
Did you
Rocket
see his
series ended.
finishing numbers, bro?
Yes, amazing player, but what you also gotta realize, the defensive
No, I'm
coverages
talking
is not.
about Cage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't care about that, Wes. I
Oh,
already spoke to
okay.
Cade in that next
Against
series, my brother.
Cat Rim Pro.
I already spoke to Cade and et cetera in that
Oh,
next
okay.
series, my brother.
Okay.
and what
So
do you mean
I
I
that
don't
think
Cade
think
didn't
I don't
Jada,
finish?
think it's fair to
but
I don't think
Wes,
it's
you
fair
know
to
that
be like,
Jada. And granted, I'm a fan of Jada. Nothing against Jada. You know he has the opportunity to get to one. He can get to the basket because he's just that good, right? But also the coverage that he see versus what SJ was seeing versus what Cade was seeing is not the same. Wes, can you
This
agree or
would have been
disagree?
that would have
yeah,
been
they
a
don't
good
see
take
the
if he
same
didn't.
coverages. I'm with you there. I never said they see the same coverages. What I
But there's
will say is Cade, I think, is a better basketball player, a better pure basketball player. When it
Facts.
comes to value, J-Dub and Cade in the NBA, you're hard pressed to convince me that Cade is more valuable right now in terms of just the impact on winning and also the return on your play. Like how consistent are you doing that? Because through this playoff run, like I said, J-Dub had one bad series, and I'm not even a crazy J-Dub fan. Niggas know this. But J-Dub, uber efficient for a lot of times, not uber efficient a lot of times as well, but he came through, did what he needed to do as one of the best defenders in the world. Offensively, I'm matching Cade's production from a scoring standpoint, and I'm one of the top 10 defenders in the world, or 15, depending on how people rank it or rank him. I say top 10. I can't poo-poo that. I can't act like that doesn't matter. The best passer on our team, I can't act like that doesn't matter. He does a lot. Really good player, and he came through.
that nigga does so much defensively for this team, bro, and offensively. And
We just got to get him
defensively,
better guard, bro.
bro, at times it was like, go out there and guard Miles Turner, nigga. Go out there, go out there and guard this guy. Go out there and guard Jaren Jackson. Go out there and do this. Do it. Like, bro, it's so much shit this nigga does defensively and offensively on a night to night basis, bro. That I just gotta give him his credit. He's just too damn good, bro. Like too damn good. And I think niggas got to start valuing that shit and talk about him as a player in this league, bro.
And right now, Ev, since you asked me a question, I'm gonna pose you one. If you polled, you know, people and had to rank the top 20 players in the league, you think J-Dub or Cade is low? Or top
Well, you
25,
know,
top
going
30,
off
doesn't matter.
at the conclusion of the season,
Yeah.
at the conclusion of the season, Jada will be higher than Cade.
Okay.
At the
All right.
conclusion, but we both know as fans of the game which player is a better basketball player. Me and you, what you just said, we know that. Now, when you put X player in a certain situation, can he thrive and look like a star or an emerging star or and show value on both sides of the ball? 1,000%. When you have the other player in a situation where he is the whole entire offense from a creation standpoint, and um, yeah, you know what I'm going with that. Like I think that also means a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So I think Jada will be valued higher because what he brings to the game on both sides of the ball and how you can put him in different, pretty much on any team, and the effect will still be there. Getting to the basket, cutting off ball, slashing, mid range shot making just in general. You know what I'm saying? The defense, the ability to play make, you know, the whole nine, it will still be there. So I think he's a guy that at the end of the season he'll get ranked higher. But listen, both fellas are all NBA 13, bro. Both players are really good NBA players, but we both know Cade is a better basketball player than Jalen Williams. We both know that. But J Dub is in
But
an amazing team,
is that the case in the NBA?
right? But we wasn't looking at it from that perspective. He flat out said he's a
I
better
think
player than
that's
him.
how
Like, wait, no, he's
people.
not.
Nah, I do think that's what Goods was saying. I don't think Goods was saying,
I,
yo, in general, like if you put Cade and freaking J-Dub in an open run, who's gonna be better? I don't think Goods was saying
but that's never what
J-Dub.
I'm saying, bro, at all. I was never saying that shit. I think Cade is the better prospect, the better creator, all that shit. But with J Dub, I just never thought he was just that, like creator, whatever. I just think J Dub is like he does everything. Like he's a jack of all trades, bro. Defensively, he brings value. Playmaking wise, he brings value. Scoring, he brings value. And it's like hard for this nigga to have a truly terrible game because of everything he just brings on a night to night basis. And that equated always to me having him as a better player than Cade. And I fuck with and I like Cade, but there's just so much deficiencies to Cade's game for what he is that I just value J Dub over him.
I'm not mad, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that game. I'm not
Yeah,
mad at that, bro.
that's really what it was. But like,
I'm not mad at that, bro. Congrats, man. Y'all are champions, and y'all want to make things about Kay Cunningham and Luka Doncic. Y'all different. Y'all are champions. Y'all, let me repeat that. Y'all are champions. Y'all want to make it about Kay Cunningham and Luka Doncic, bro.
I'm not
Yeah,
making up
nah,
SG.
rightfully so, because you niggas tried to play with our squad and the best players on our team and make it seem like they weren't of a certain caliber. Luca was Luca before Shea. Hell, didn't Luca get who got in the NBA first? Somebody has a nasty echo. I wish
Wasn't
somebody
My
Luka
could hear
fault.
me.
My fault. My
first?
fault.
I mean, I think Shea came in what 18. Luca came in when 19.
All right, so they're a
They
year
they,
apart.
they might have been.
They're a
No,
year
they weren't the same
apart.
year.
Luca was seen as a better prospect. Luca had a head start in terms of being a better player. He was better. And Luca's been passed up. He's been a favorite for MVP multiple years go in the offseason, never won it. Shea was never a favorite, went and won the award before him. Finals, championship, went and won it before him. Yeah, niggas gonna run that lap.
Nigga,
You gotta be okay with that.
I was just arguing with Real Talk on the TL a couple days ago after that game 6, bro. Him tweeting out, oh, wait till Luka get his scoring aggression back. We're better than this guy. I'm like, bro, like some shit just is annoying, bro. Like, like it will never. It's not a conversation no more, bro. Not a conversation. We all know who number one is. Two, the combo start at two, nigga. Well, it doesn't start at two. Luka's better than Steph, but combos start at round like 3. So,
What combos?
like for best point guard,
Oh yeah. Number 2 for sure.
you think Steph got an argument for Luka still over
Hell
Luka?
no, Luke.
Bro,
I won't ever
what type of
disrespect
question
Luca
is
like
that,
that.
bro?
I'm just asking because he said it started at 2. The combo started at 2.
Wait,
I said
what
at 3
what are
because
y'all saying? Point guard? Y'all saying point? It, so what are y'all saying? Lucas SGA the best point guard in the NBA?
yeah, SGA the
Yeah,
best point guard.
he's
In
the
the NBA.
best at his position.
Yeah.
I know some people would call him the best in the world. Respectfully, it's levels. I still think he's the second best player in the world. Like that, the Serbian is different. You know. That said, I think Shea has solidified himself as the only person who, like, I'm looking up to is Jokic. Everybody else is looking up to me. And I think that's fair, or at least like on par with me per se. But I think everybody else is looking up to Shea. And I think it's fair to say that. I think Luka, for as great as he's been in his career, this season was not better than Shea. All right, he got hurt. Playoffs, people told me he was healthy, but he was out of shape. Well, you don't get points for being like I don't give you a pass for not being in shape. So when it comes down to it all, Shay's better. And it's okay to say that right now. He's a better defender, and I think he adds as much value as Luka does offensively right now. Luka may get back to a point where he adds more value offensively, and then we can have that discussion. Luka's definitely a better passer. It's not up for debate, not a question. But again, when it mattered most this year, we saw, we all saw it. So y'all could take Luka, and I don't have a problem with y'all taking Luka. Like,
Yeah, I don't know how this has turned into SGA and a Luka convo. So, I mean, congrats to the SGA, congrats to OKC. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. I'm not having no SGA and Luka
Should be your
convo.
guy
appreciate
too,
that,
bro.
brother.
It's sad. It's sad he's not your guy, bro.
Just said,
Sad.
who not my guy?
SGA.
SGA is one of my guys. Two of my guys won championship last night.
He not really your guy though, bro. Like
Yes, he is, bro.
we know you're real guys, bro. Like he not really
Everybody that it's just nothing never changed. Luka, Booker, Cade, Trey, everybody that went to Kentucky. Never would
and
change.
you got niggas like Booker and Cade over him, gang. Like this should not even like that
Booker
shit's
went to
sad,
Kentucky
bro.
before SGA gang. Came off the bench
That don't
came off
mean
the
nothing,
bench
bro.
and then blossomed to all NBA first team player, NBA finals guy, 40 back to back, all-star. Like he put in work. What do you mean?
Embarrassing, bro. You go for the
He put
way
in
lesser
work.
player. It's
Cade was one of the
embarrassing,
best
bro.
prospects going into college, bro. The dog. All around
I
point
don't care,
guard.
bro. He went to Oklahoma State.
He's a dog.
He went to
What do you
Oklahoma
mean?
State.
So why is Giannis one of your favorite players?
Bro. You see, I'm not one of those niggas. I'm not one of those niggas who
Hey, you
go
funny
based
as
off
heck.
of what
Answer the
who go
question, gang.
based off of what
I don't need
college
the
you go.
story.
I don't
Answer the
go based
question.
off of
Why
what
is Giannis one of your favorite
I
players?
don't go based off of what college you go to,
I'm
bro.
not
Like
answering the question.
what?
Why is he one of your favorite players?
Because I like his game.
And Jokic is one of your favorite players too, correct?
I think Jokic is an amazing player.
Bro, is Jokic one of your favorite players?
I think Jokic is an amazing player.
Okay, I do too. Is he one of your favorite players?
I think he's an amazing player, bro.
Is SGA one of your favorite players?
100%, yeah.
So SGA and Giannis, and then Jokic. Gang, you cannot
No,
talk
I
about
think
none of my
Jokic is an
favorite players.
amazing player,
When
bro.
you have
I didn't.
three of the top five favorite players three of your players that's your favorite players are literally all top five in the game. Three of them.
Was Shea top 5 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
That's insane, brother.
Was Shea top 5 2 years ago or three
I'm
years
not
ago?
playing your question games, brother.
Was he top 5
You
2 or
like
3 years
three
ago? Yes or
good.
no?
Good. You have four favorite players in the NBA, brother. Good. Y'all to the chat, to the whole child live. He has four favorite players in the NBA right now on me, right now. He can have more. But the four that I know off the top of my head that I can name is Russell Westbrook. You always gonna ride for Russ. Same for me. D-Wade was always my guy until he hung it up. He has Russ, SGA, Giannis, and Jokic. Is that not some of the most insane shit ever? How is three of your favorite players are all top five in the sport? One could argue top three. One could argue they're the top three players in the NBA, and all three of them are his favorite players in the NBA.
And mind you, Jokic is not even one of my favorite players. I just think he's an
Yes,
amazing
he is.
basketball
Stop
player.
lying.
So I don't know why. You're doing that, bro. I just think he's amazing. Like he's a really good basketball player.
Do you think Jokic is the best in the world still?
If you ask me my real answer, yeah.
I'm asking you. What do you mean you're? I'm asking you right now.
If you asking me my troll swiper answer, no.
But
just how it's
listen,
go
I don't know
for
what you're saying, gang, but I'm not worried about nobody else that you talk to. My question directly to you is, who is the best player in the world to you right now, Goods?
What did Giannis say? Whoever wins the championship, whoever wins the MVP, that's the best player, bro.
Okay, so you think SGA is the best player in the world right now? Yep. Yeah, I'm good.
Why you get quiet?
You didn't answer my question.
You said yep.
All right, respect, gang. We're on the same page. We're on the same page. Respect, brother.
Giannis said it, not me.
Respect, brother. It was good seeing you this past weekend, man.
Good seeing you too, brother.
Yes, sir.
Hope we could link more, man.
Yes, sir. Most deaf.
Everybody that can't respect it is this nigga. His favorite player is the best in the game.
It's ridiculous. I never seen nothing like this before, but it is smart. I ain't gonna lie, it is smart. Don't get me wrong.
That's not smart, but that's not it.
Ed was on that same. Ed was on that same path at one point. His
He was
niggas
though.
saying
He
become
was.
Wait,
his
Ed
niggas
what? Ed what?
I said you were on that same path at one point, but your niggas ain't become who you thought they were.
Tell me. Hold on. Let's make this very clear. My same four favorite players been the same since y'all met me, and that never changed. So how was that ever about to change?
We're talking about them being the tops in the league. Wait.
Oh, wait. So you mean to tell me you think Booker was gonna be a top 5 player one day?
No, I say you were on that same path at one point, and his players didn't become who he thought they were.
He trying to change the conversation.
Bro, nigga, are you serious, Wes? Is that Wes that's talking to me?
Yes, you thought Book was gonna be a top 10 player. No, bar none. You were having combos that you felt he was in the conversation with Tatum. That was 2 years ago. Who? Tatum. Jason Tatum.
Yes. But I did. Yes, I said yes. I felt like they was in the same ballpark. Yes.
Okay.
That was 3 years ago. Yes.
That was 2 years ago, was it?
That was three before.
That was literally last season.
That was not last season. What the hell?
It was during last season. Yes, it was.
No, that was not. This is when y'all first met me when that was a conversation.
No.
Bro, I'm telling you, Wes. You can have your beliefs. I'm telling you, it was 3 years ago. We were talking about all the Celtics
when
fans,
it started.
when all the Celtics fans first came out of Fact and Stats. That was 3 years ago.
Bro, when that conversation started, I'm saying as recent as 2 years ago, as recent as last NBA season, the 24 season, during the regular season.
No, I disagree.
You were saying
I don't think that's true.
It doesn't matter.
All right, cool. Wait, can you get to your next point though? Because we can just stop. I disagree. You can get your next point.
All right. I don't have.
I want to see how you finish this. He has 3 players that are top 4 in the game. So who outside of Cade and Trae Young did I expect to be top 10 then?
Bro, maybe I just had a good eye, bro, because I've been a fan of Shea.
Well, Luka's top 10. Luka's top 5, brother.
So,
but
Luka,
he has 3 in the top 3 though. 10. But what my thing is, he only had one. He only had one that jumped into the top 5, right?
2 number 1 picks.
None of my other favorite players outside of Luka was ever going to jump into the top 5.
Because Luka wasn't number 1.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you had guys who you felt would be for sure top 10, and you were on that path at one point, and they just didn't.
What do you mean, guys? I only have one person.
No, it's not just one person. We've known each other since Trae Young made it to the Eastern Conference.
I never thought Trae Young was going to be a top 10 player. What are you talking about?
It doesn't matter.
What he was saying.
That's not my whole point for you and Trae Young. Trae Young, at one point, was considered a top 15 player, and people felt like he could get into the top 10. Do you agree or disagree? At one point in his career, was that not true?
Wes, I think you talk.
Just answer that question for me. Answer that question.
You're not even letting me talk.
What?
What's your question, bro? Do I think Trae Young was at one point a top 15 player?
Is that true? Yes, that people had him as a top 15 player, felt like he would be in the top 10 somewhere.
No, I don't think Trae Young was ever really respected. So no, I don't agree.
Okay, all right.
How do you
I
mean Trey
remember
Young
them
wasn't
having
respected?
combos
I
about
don't think
Trey
Trey
Young
Young
and
was ever
Luke.
really respected as a basketball player,
Okay,
though.
I remember combos about
When he
Trey Young
first
and
came
Luke.
into the league,
It's
yes, he
cool.
was. What are you talking
It's
about?
cool.
I don't think Trey Young was ever respected personally, if you ask me. But
Yeah,
my
you're
point,
tripping.
my point is, I had one player that was already in the top 5, in my opinion, from year 3, 4, whatever you want to say, that already was in the top 5. He had 2 players already in the top 5, and then he had one that jumped into the top 5.
Do you know when I
Booker
became
was
a
never.
fan of
Hold
these
on, let me
niggas
finish,
though?
please. Let me finish, please. Booker was never going to be top 5 or 7. Trey was never going to be top 7. Kate was never going to be top 7.
But you thought Booker was trending to that though. So like, what are
I
you
thought
talking
Booker was.
about?
I thought Booker was trending in the top 10 range, but I always said 10, 11, and I had Tatum at 10 at that point, and I had Booker at 11. Even when we had that combo, I still put Tatum above Booker when we had that combo by 1 spot. By the way, 1 spot.
And you were arguing why Booker can't be better than him.
Yes, I was.
So like, what's
And
the
Tatum
difference?
and Tatum continued to get better, and Tatum is clear better than. Well, yeah, Tatum continued to get better.
That still doesn't change the fact that you thought that Booker would still be better than him.
It doesn't change the fact that you had 2 within the top 5, and I had 1, and I never thought that Booker was going to be top 5.
Bro, the difference between you and me is I don't change up on my players, bro.
Who did I change up on?
I pick up from them early on, and
Who did I
then
change up on?
they just become what they become. Like, bro, I'm a Scoop fan right now. Watching a few years, you niggas gonna be like, oh, you a Scoop fan too, huh? You a Scoop fan too, huh? Yeah, bro. I have a good eye for this basketball shit, nigga. Was a Giannis fan when he first got in the league, nigga. Russ fan, first got in the league. Shea fan. I wasn't a Shea fan when he first got in the league. 2
Bro,
years
you
in,
was not
fuck with
Shea
Shea.
crazy. Bro,
I
all
was
y'all
not
became
Shea
Shea crazy like
crazy
3
two
years ago,
years
gang.
in, bro.
Y'all
I've
started Shea crazy
always
like three
liked
years
Shea's
ago.
game.
Y'all
I
Like,
wasn't
what are you
Shea
mean,
talking
crazy
about?
when he was with Chris Paul in the backcourt and Dennis. This is a fact.
Shea
Bro, what do you?
Crazy.
Yes,
He
I
was on our
was.
team, but we didn't. Being Shea Crazy is neither here nor there. When he
Yeah,
became a
until like 3 years
Thunder,
ago, right?
when he became a Thunder, right? There started to be some interest in him as a player and seeing what he would develop into. Around 22, it was like, oh, okay, he may be something. 23, shit got real. So that's fine.
Nigga,
You could say, oh, 22, 23 is when we started becoming like, oh, Shane, he's on the cusp of something, and that's fine, but he's on our team. I think that's fair. Like, our fandom came from players who were on our team for Shea specifically. And I can't speak for you. Giannis, shit, cool. Jokic, regardless of how good he is, I think there's a real vested interest in who he is as a basketball player, how he plays basketball, and that's something that we genuinely really rock with. And I don't think that should be like a, oh, well, y'all only like him because he's the best in the world. Nah, like how good he is at basketball is really like just, man, he's amazing. Look at the things he does from the center position. He could be the 10th best player in the world. If he had the
Bro,
same
that's
play
my
style
guy.
and he
He
was
went to
good,
Kentucky game. You know the vibes, bro. You know that. Y'all know how I feel
what you
about
mean?
BBN, man. Y'all know how I
Huh?
feel about BBN, man. He my guy. Just
I'm not
chill.
saying anything about Shaq being.
Oh, my fault. Who you
Yeah,
talking
I was
about?
talking about Jokic. I was saying Jokic
Oh,
becoming a
Jokic,
guy.
Jokic.
Yeah, like the fact that people are like we're fans of Jokic. I think it's just about like how good he is at basketball. And maybe you will call that bandwagon. That's fine. The honest thing for goods, I think is I don't think anyone can be like, oh, it's because Giannis is this good. It's like, nah, he has deeper ties to Giannis. Then when we get to a player like oh, well, that was it. Those 3 guys. And I think it just panned out that way. Shit wasn't supposed to be this. To be real, neither was Giannis.
Yeah,
It's just
Wes,
when we
that's my
met,
point
Giannis was
though.
already
Wes, that's
this.
my point though. Shea wasn't supposed to be this, right? But he didn't heavily prop up Shea until he started to become this or show that he was going to become this when he
bro.
averaged
Yes,
33
I
years
did,
ago.
bro. Yes, I
When he
did,
averaged
bro.
33 years ago, Wes.
I've been
You
propping
following
Nah,
up
me?
Shea.
Even when he
nah,
averaged 20, even when he averaged 25, like what, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, you could even sort of see from that point.
Bro,
Because it
I
was a
mean,
big
I've
jump.
but
bro. There was people that
in
wanted to
fairness though,
trade.
like, bro, y'all do this. There were no real segments for us to talk about. Okay, okay, see when we met each other because we were so bad as a team. We don't forget we met in 22 season, 21, 22. That's the season we met. We met in 22 though, the year 2022. If you all go back and look at our record, We won 24 games. Nobody wanted to talk about OKC. So we don't have to play games around. We would have a segment for goods and West when you started going down the slates, because that's not how it always was. But when it became we're going through the slate, and we ended up on playback as well as in Twitter spaces, we were back and forth, or actually, 23 is when we really transitioned to playback. But you know my point. At 22, we just have a quick little segment for OKC. We may be able to get our shit off about our team. Niggas will troll us and say y'all not real OKC fans, and then try to ask us questions about OKC. But it was never ever really genuine talks around our squad. At 23, we started having genuine talks around our squad. 24, you couldn't deny our squad. 25, we champions, nigga. Fuck are you saying? It's real development. That's a storybook.
Listen, y'all, I picked to win it all year. I'm happy for y'all. I don't got nothing bad to say about y'all. There's literally nothing bad to say. Let me see what the sequel looks like when I'm sitting down. I don't got nothing bad to say, gang. Congrats to OKC, y'all. Listen, also, this is NBA Draft Week. Make sure y'all follow on the Twitch page. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Playback
We
may
gonna
get
do like
open
a
later.
prospect day where we discuss the different prospects and stuff.
Yeah, tomorrow, more than likely. Tomorrow and Wednesday, or just on Wednesday, like on the draft day.
Wait,
the
draft is on Wednesday?
Yeah, crazy, bro.
Whoa.
Like, nigga, y'all just won a championship and now y'all got a draft on Wednesday at 15 at the moment. Like, that's crazy. But granted, that's why y'all got scouts and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all got this. So I'm pretty sure y'all been looking into who y'all may want potentially, or been in some talks about potentially moving that pick or whatever the case may be. But it's crazy to win a championship and then have 2 first-round draft picks, and then have 4 the following season. Like, I've never seen a team be set up like this before. I don't think we ever seen a team be set up like this before ever. Am I going too far with that? Have we ever seen a team be set up like OKC this year? Like,
I mean, like
OKC?
in the 80s for sure.
Oh, okay, my bad. Way before my time.
The Celtics won the championship and had Len
It ain't got
Bias.
Bird.
No, they won the championship, and then although he died, rest in peace, tragically.
Oh, Len Bias.
Yeah, Len Bias was the number 1 overall pick. No.
Yeah, so I think he had mute real quick. But yeah, like in recent time, like I can go back to the last 20 years, at least for me, we never seen a team be set up like this for their future, ever. Like, you have a superstar player, top top 5, the order you want, do whatever you want with the order. You got Chet, a top 2 pick in the draft. You have J-Dub, another lottery pick, who now, if you look back at that draft, is the best player in that draft, if I'm not mistaken, or probably go 1 in that draft or 2, whatever the case may be. And then you have the array of first round draft picks. I think that's what makes it best. The array of first round draft picks, and then to top it off, you're a young team, and you added Caruso and Ihart to that fold last offseason, and you can still do whatever you want to do now. Ihart got like SJ step top 5. Ihart making like 30 plus, right? You can take that, whatever they want to do as far as players or getting better or ask whatever, they can do it. An array of first round draft picks, and it's crazy because they didn't even use none of the first round draft picks to win a championship. They didn't even use none of them. They traded Caruso. I mean, they traded Giddey and I think did y'all trade a first for Giddey? I can't remember.
Did we trade a first for him?
I feel like a pick was in that trade. Like, wasn't it a pick was in that trade?
You talking about for Caruso?
Yeah, to get that Giddey and Caruso trade, a pick wasn't in that trade.
No, that was straight up.
I'm straight up.
Straight up. So Giddey and Caruso, right? And then you get Ihart via free agency. So everybody was like, yeah, OKC got all these picks. They can use these picks and do X, Y, and Z. They won a championship without doing that. Now they can really flex on the league. Like, if they want to, they can flex on the league. Oh yeah, we just won a championship. All right, watch this now. And they can get another big name with those picks, and they can just flex on the league, gang. Literally. So I don't know, man. Hell of a team, special team. And they also took care of business last year, as quiet as kept. And what I mean by that is, like, even this season, they extended Caruso early on, this midway this season, right? Like a 4-year deal, something like that. And then they got Wiggins and Joe on like 3-4-year deals at a low rate, like at a low amount. Like that's major.
Yeah,
literally, that's
cheap,
major.
Movable deals.
Yeah, cheap movable deals and shit. Like, so, like, we never seen a team be set up like what OKC is, right now in the last 25 years, in my opinion. So really, man, just congrats to them. I just want to continue to get them all the flowers. Like I said, I came into this year. I looked at what they did last year against Dallas. I thought that was a tough series for Dallas to be able to get out of, and how well they defended Kyrie. And then they added Ihart and Caruso. I said, yeah, they're gonna win it all this year. I thought they was gonna see Dallas in the Western Conference Finals, but once the trade happened, I think the path was even way more clear. And then you man, come back next season with everybody under contract. Man,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a ridiculous GM job that Sam did. He deserves all these flowers, man. Did everything. Drafted drafted our second and third best player. Drafted Kaysen. Like, just amazing what this nigga did. Drafted Lou. Like,
Drafted the piece that got us Caruso. Like,
drafted, bro.
it's
Like, this
it's
nigga
sick shit, man. Wiggins had a game. Drafted
drafted
Wiggins.
Wiggins.
You know,
Bro, he does a crazy GM job by this guy, bro. Like, he deserves all the credit in the world.
as well
Um,
though, he can't even really celebrate it. Like, he may not drink anyway, but like if he was a drinker, he can't do anything at the parade tomorrow because he got to turn right back and get
go to the draft.
straight to business Wednesday. Yeah, but nah, man, I'm just, I'm grateful. I'm happy we were able to, fulfill our destiny for real, man. And now we get a full off season. The niggas trying to, excuse me, discredit it. It's already going on from last night to this morning. Stephen A. Oh, they're not a great all-time team. They're a great all-time defense, but that offense is so porous. They have trouble with a lot of teams, all-time great. So I wouldn't call them all-time great team. All this shit. Swipe on the TL crying, whining, waffling, like all the silly stuff. Um, Russ, not Russell Westbrook, but the artist formerly known as Russ. Um, that this shit don't count. You know, not a real champion. Fucking if Hallie would have been healthy, he was gonna get him 45. All
Never
these
liked that
crazy
goofy Russ
stuff,
anyway.
man. Yeah, like, even Sly in here. Yeah, y'all ain't beat a fully healthy indie team. And the thing is, like, again, all prayers and all due respect to Hallie. But my God, y'all act like Hallie missed the whole fucking series, bruh. He got hurt in the biggest game of the series, absolutely. But we were winning the series when Hallie got hurt, quote unquote. We were up 3-2. He played. Um, Obviously, through the calf strain in game 6, they were able to win on their home court. We got back home, game 7. It looked like we were en route to an epic final, en route to an epic game 7. And unfortunately, he got hurt. But that doesn't take away any, like, I don't think that takes anything away from us winning the championship. And we were like, the series was a series. And unfortunately, he went down, had 9 points in 7 minutes. Missed his first 2 shots, came back, splashed 3 straight threes. Special stuff. Looked like he was ready for the moment, screaming on us. They were all game. Andy had all the energy. The moment was not too bright for them. Lights were not too bright. Excuse me. The moment was not too big. Still though, injuries are a part of the sport. It happened. It's unfortunate. And we just made it to the finish line before they did. And that's just par for the course. But I don't want to be like, oh, anything about this doesn't count. Like, nah, bro, we put ourselves in a position to win. It's not our fault. And like for now, everybody coming back. Well, oh, they trying to treat it like it's the 2015 Warriors ring. Like, come on, my nigga. Like, we can be real. Ja
yeah,
getting
that's
hurt
crazy.
didn't change. Like, Ja didn't getting hurt didn't change the outcome of that fucking series. I'm seeing niggas talk about round 1 with Ja getting hurt. Like, that didn't mean anything to the outcome of that series. You niggas disagree, well, cool, be dumb. It meant nothing to the outcome of that series. When they bring up Aaron Gordon getting hurt for game 7, it's unfortunate. Bring up Russ and this broken hand, it's unfortunate. MPJ and this thrown off shoulder, it's unfortunate. I know MPJ with a fucked up shoulder shot 44% in round 1 from 3. He didn't do it in round 2. I don't. If you want to call it because he was injured, cool. I just know I saw the nigga play well while injured. I saw him shoot well versus a team that gave him better looks, and I saw him not shoot quite as well in the series where he faced tougher coverage. And yeah, the injury may have been a part of that, cool, but I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, if MPJ is healthy, we lose. MPJ wasn't gonna get easier shots if he was healthy. You know, like I don't really subscribe to that, especially when MPJ out of his own mouth was saying, "Yo, at the longer like we play, the better it starts to feel. Like it's not like I'm still not healthy, but I feel better now." And in round 2, he said this in round 2 than I did when I first injured it in round 1. Don't tell me, oh, that it only happened because he got hurt, but whatever. Denver had some injuries. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, and they had a 3-2 lead on us. They could have closed us out, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, they had a 2-1 lead on us. We ended up with a 3-2 lead on them. They won game 6 on their home floor, came back game 7. We all know how it happened. Minnesota, what injury did they have? And if they had one for real, cite it. We're going to talk about Ant being a little banged up. Okay, I guess. I thought every player was a little banged up in the playoffs, though, especially when you get to the conference finals. I thought that was par for the course. I felt like we beat them fair and square. We faced the team that couldn't fuck with us, beat them in 5. They didn't have a roster for us. And then in this series, Indiana seemed game. They were game. They were a very formidable opponent, showed their ass, got to a game 7, and things didn't break their way, man. And it's unfortunate. Hopefully, speedy recovery for them. I want to talk about their future and what y'all think it looks like for them now, what y'all think they should do in the coming season, who you would like them to target, like how you would just like them to approach this upcoming season with no Halley for sure, and knowing that they're playing for the 27 season as opposed to the 26, how you would like to see them operate in response to that. But, let us relish in this moment, man. We had all year niggas telling us we couldn't do it. All year. I will never forget the offseason. I will never forget the way niggas laughed in our faces when we were talking about we could win a championship. I will never forget the way niggas give us the field. I will never forget that. And we went and we fulfilled the prophecy, man. So, we can move. How y'all feel about Indy? Let's talk about somebody else. I think we had enough thunder for the day, right? Niggas, it's not
Nah,
fair
that
for us to
indie
talk about
shit,
Luca.
the
Come
indie
on,
shit,
man.
it makes me so sad for them niggas, bro, because it's like they're missing a whole entire season of Halliburton. And to lose that in the game 7 of the finals, I couldn't even imagine how they feel right now. Like, knock on wood. But if Shea was to get hurt in a game 7 of the finals, and then he missed the entire year after that, I would just love for the season would just be like I would hate it. I would just fucking hate it. Like I don't even know how they feeling, but shout out to Rick Carlisle, amazing coach, bro. Amazing coach. He's been in this shit for a long time. And he's been nothing but great. He really revolutionized that entire indie team, changed of their whole philosophy. He got players like Pascal playing at an all NBA level again. He was amazing. Shout out to Pascal. Um, he got guys like TJ McConnell, like Obi Toppin, like guys like that, just playing at such a high level because they fit in a system and they're doing things that could benefit this team. He found out where he could place them, the movement, like everything. So shout out to that Pacers team, but they're a tough ass team. Me personally, I don't know if anybody agrees with this. I think it's the toughest team we faced in the last 2 years of being in the playoffs. That's just me personally. I think they have a level of offensive versatility and defensively They're stout. I thought they were a lot worse defensively, but no, they have actual real pieces that could guard. They have size. They're just an overall great, great, great team. In all respects to Indy, bro. But yeah, other than that, I don't really got too much to say about them, bro. Like, it's respect.
Yeah, I think
Full
11-10
respect.
said something good earlier. I mean, my only thing, typically, when somebody got eliminated from the postseason, whether or not it was the finals, obviously, I asked the early, simple question, like, what do y'all think will be next for that team or early outlook? But I can't really do it for Indiana right now because it's the Halliburton thing messes up everything for me. You know, all signs was pointing to them willing to go into the luxury tax and extend Miles Turner to keep the starting unit together, which probably would have been one of the better starting lineups in the conference again next season. But like that Halliburton injury literally alters my whole entire thought process because how do they approach the season? Same as Boston. How do they approach the season, and how effective and competitive will they be without their best player? And Indiana is going to be more damaged. Well, both teams are going to be damaged, but Indiana we saw what we saw in that second half of that game, what that offense would look like. With all due respect, Nemhard and TJ McConnell, they had Dort just pressing TJ full court. Like they really had nobody that can like play make, turnovers started to happen and things of that nature. So you can sort of kind of see what the loss of Halliburton will look like. So they obviously have to address the point guard situation. I want to make that clear. They have to get a good veteran point guard to come in there and step in and be able to fill in and play and still keep TJ McConnell off the bench. Also, it's time. It's time for you to make a decision, Indiana fans. What are you going to do with Matherin and Jarris Walker? What are you going to do with those two former lottery picks? I think you need to figure out, especially Jarris, will he be more utilized in the lineup next season with some front court minutes opening up with potentially departing or letting Miles Turner go? Or are you going to trade Jarris or Matherin and let Miles go and then get a different center to try to compete with going forward and hope that they can mesh and work with Holly when Holly is back in 2 years? So I think they got to, figure out, do they want to keep Miles and go into that luxury tax for 1 year for no reason, in my opinion? Or
Yeah.
the smart option for me, because they even went some games without even letting Miles close for obvious reasons, like whether it was bad shooting or defensive mishaps or rebounding. They closed some game without Miles. Even yesterday's game, he was on the bench. So I think they're probably just going to go ahead and let Miles go or try to figure out like what they can do. If they can get anything back from a sign and trade or whatever the case may be. And then at that point, you then have to use Jarris or Matherin while they're still young, and can still continue to get better as players and probably can be able to produce elsewhere. Matherin been producing in Indiana. He's been around 14 and 16 for like the last 2-3 years. He's been producing, right? But me, he had his moments. But for me, Jarris is a guy that haven't really carved out a true role for that team. I think this was the season right here with the most he's been playing. Whether it was some back up four, whether it was some back up five, they did experience some at the three as well, but it wasn't really too good. Obviously, the back up 5 minutes early on in the year wasn't too
They
good. So
losing Toppin.
say it again. Nah,
Wait, aren't they?
I don't think they losing Obi. I think Obi on the roster. I think Obi on the contract still. I think they good.
I ain't gonna hold you. I think they need to trade. I think they need to try to put themselves in position to make a big splash at some point. Especially like
I
again,
agree.
coming off of Achilles injuries, like it's no joke, man. Like I know modern medicine has improved, and everybody looks at KD as like, oh well, he was able to do it. Like it's not the same. Guards who lean on being shifty, lean on quick twitch things, being able to have some explosion, even if it's not like explosion with, assault in the rim, like with dunking and stuff. It's still like that. That's a really big part of Hallie's game, big part of Dame's game. Just because you have a shot, I don't think for those guys it's easy to come back from an injury like that. And I think Indiana, again, like it's one or two paths. You either go in the next season and you see what you have from Furphy, see what you have from Jarris,
And I
and try
forgot they got
to,
him.
yeah, you try to lean to that, or you say, look, next year is probably not gonna be great. Obviously, let's go in, let's see what's what, and let's just survey the market and see if we could take some of these role players and parlay that into a true like third guy. Now, it may go against the way that they played basketball thus far, and that's fine. But I think Hallie coming back, you really have to kind of protect them and add. I think you got to add to the roster. I don't think it can be the same way it was pre-injury, and I hope he gets back to that level. I hope he can take that amount of responsibility. I question it. So if I'm Indiana, I'm trying to see what move can we make, what somewhat like of a big splash can we make. Hell, if it's Giannis, let's see, let's position ourselves to go get Giannis. Now that probably takes Pascal, and it alters some of the way you look at the team. But again, like I would be focused on like a big splash, in my opinion. Now, I'll reserve the right to be wrong. Y'all could be like, nah, nigga, that's a little crazy. I will understand it, but that's where I am.
Yeah, that's where I was at. I had said that about them earlier on this year because typically when we see star players or superstar, well, not too many superstar players in the game, but let's just say star players. Star players get traded. It's always for young assets and or picks, right? This is typically how it goes. Indiana has two young assets that can be utilized to get traded and whatever picks they have left. And I'm referring to Matherin and Jarris. And I even forgot they got Furphy, to be honest. So they have the young assets and you have the idea of what you want your core to be, right? And that's Halliburton, um, Nemhard, Neesmith, and Siakam. So my ideal thing would to be getting another guy or getting another major move to put them alongside Hallie and Siakam versus using Siakam to then get a guy like Giannis. Granted, I would do that by the way, but I'm just saying I'd rather put somebody with Hallie and Siakam and still keep that same foundation identity and structure versus trading Siakam with one of them to go in and get somebody that's the upper echelon, like a Giannis or whatever the case may be. So that was my stance. But I do think they need to definitely see what Matherin and Jarris can be, and even Furphy can be for them going forward. And if not, you have to try to trade one of those guys for players that can match the timeline that you already have right now with Halliburton, Nemhard, and Neesmith. Because all of them are young. They all young. They all young. Nemhard, Neesmith, and Hallie, they all young. I think Nemhard and Neesmith probably in the same age bracket, but I think Hollywood 25, so they got to get a center that can sort of kind of match that a little bit. If you're not going to go and continue on with Miles and give Miles like a 4-year extension or whatever the case may be, granted, they might opt for that. You know what I'm saying? They probably like, listen, we can just chill, take this year off. We probably even still be competitive in this Eastern. They probably can look at it like this: if we go out and get a point guard and we extend Miles Turner, we'll still be fine. Like we can still be one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference, and you never know what can happen. Granted, we could be missing Hallie, but if we got somebody that can come in and do some of the things that Hallie was able to do,
Mistake.
you said mistake.
Yeah, mistake. They
Mistake.
shouldn't do that. They may do it. I'm not telling you you're wrong about how they may approach it, but
But as far as Miles,
mistake. Yeah. I think
yeah,
it's a mistake. I think that would be a really big mistake. Like I think this is the year where, okay, now that he's hurt, this year should all be about what do we have from the young guys that have already been mentioned. Who on our roster can scale up as well, and then after seeing what they have to offer, who do we feel doesn't have a place here moving forward? And like again, it could be a situation where Matherin's just playing so well. Now you sell high on him. You don't even have an issue with Mathurin. Don't even have an issue with Jarris. We want to showcase what these young guys can do, and then potentially sell high on them, or you keep them if they believe in Mathurin and he plays so well next year that it's like, yo, we think as soon as Hallie gets back, we can just run it back the same way, whatever. But I I would be looking to to see what we have out of the young guys, how well they can play, see what the development is, and identify which pieces of this young core we feel would be additive to a championship run again when Hallie's on our team or when Hallie's back on the court. And then what pieces we feel are kind of going to be phased out that we can move and parlay into something better. And it doesn't even have to be a big fish. That's one of the things that's out there for sure, though. You can always make a big splash move, but maybe it's just getting another really, really good contributor who is like a role player, obviously, but just is more additive and feels a void and adds more value than a guy like Jarris. Because it seemed thus far, a lot of people were high on Jarris coming out of college. But Jarris, through his first 2 years, has never really found a way, like you said, to get on the court. And I think for that team, I don't think it's looking up. I look at Jarris and their roster, and it's like, yo, Jarris, the way you can play is if you're better than Obi. If you can provide what Obi provides, but better. And I honestly, I question it. Obi has been really good for them. Even in the regular season where he's up and down and has his moments, like Obi has just been a really positive player for them, man. I think for Jarris, it's tough to get to that level because so much of it is dependent on, yo, how good are you as a shot maker? And can they utilize him to the best of his abilities? I think Jarris, I don't even know a perfect comp for Jarris, but it's like it's I don't think Jarris is truly a small ball five. I don't think that's how he should be utilized. I think Jarris is a four and maybe can play down at the three some. But I think he's a four. And they have their four in Pascal. And Obi was the backup, and Obi had been playing better than Jarris, so I think it's just tough. But I would love to hear T's opinion on this. I don't know if he's in here, but T, Mazak, I think they give some really good insight.
Yeah, yeah, we have to, and maybe Twink you can respond to, but yeah, we have the same line of thinking in regards to that situation. In regards to that situation, to be honest, bro. And he was a highly guy that was viewed upon pretty high coming out of Houston. And I think that sometimes when you draft a player that high, you just don't want to trade them. Like I think sometimes teams get caught in moments like that where you draft a guy to be something for your team. And then even if the pathway opens up to where they're probably not going to be nothing, it's hard for you to be like, all right, let's just trade them. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I think they should do it. We on the same page. Twin, what's your thought though? Like as far as like how the
Give
Pacers
me
do it?
like 2 minutes, brother.
All right, bet.
Ev, I hear you guys talking about this, and by the way, the Pacers have all 6 of their first round picks coming up. It's all their own, so they have 6 tradable first round picks.
Okay.
But what is a realistic option for them? Because I don't see a superstar coming. I don't see a Giannis type player. I don't see a top 30 name coming there. I see a guy like maybe like Cam Johnson. It's going to sound crazy when I say the name, but Denny Avdia, one of those type of guys going over instead of like a Giannis type player. That's what I see the Pacers doing instead of a major fish like Giannis. I don't see them trading away all that draft capital and young players just to get a Giannis. And even Pascal, I think, because Pascal would have to be involved in that. I don't see them doing something like that because that's how they built their team is through the draft, through young players. So I just don't see a Giannis. But someone like Cam Johnson, Denny Avdia, that type of player who is a third option, I think that's something they should attack. I don't think they should sell the fish, sell what they have and what they built upon just because Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. I think they should let the young players go. Benedict Mathurin, I think they should let him kind of shine next year, see what he can do. I think Wes kind of said it, but I think they should let him play a lot next year. And if he is a guy that they don't think is a part of the future, sell him high because he's going to be one of the guys next year. He's going to have to be a guy next year if he's on that team. So I think that's how you attack next year. I think you just sit back and wait, get a third option, get a guy that can maybe be a 2 option behind Pascal, and you wait. I don't think they should go all in because I don't think they're in that type of situation. I don't think they have to do that. That's just me personally.
Good context on the picks and also good thought process as well. So it's interesting. It's interesting. And I think Wes, shout out to even bringing that up because I definitely do want to see how they attack the offseason 1000%. Like I said, even Boston, I just think that we sort of kind of have a clear-cut idea a little bit as far as what Boston want to do, and that's trading Holiday and or KP, if not both. So, and even Sam Hauser, his name got brought up in some conversations as well this offseason. So, we'll end up ultimately seeing what both of these teams do. It's unfortunate. Again, I want to just literally say, man, prayers to every single body that tore their Achilles this season and then anybody that toured in the playoffs. Man, it's just so unfortunate. Unrelated question, but is there a difference between a ruptured and a torn Achilles? If so, what is it? Good question. Anybody got a answer for that in the stage and or chat? I think it's the same thing. When I hear ruptured, I think of torn.
Ruptured and torn is the same thing.
Okay, yeah.
Now, on the
It
basically a
should be.
rupture is a full rupture. A tear, I don't think the grade severity matches out. But you also, I think Jamal Murray did. I think they said the same thing when Jamal Murray his shit happened. It's the same timeline. Like, it's
It's
just
the
a
same thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I just know
yeah,
just
it's
It's
different
ruptured.
different.
language.
Ruptured
That's all it is. Yeah,
It's
ruptured
the
is
same
worse.
timeline though.
It's worse than the torn though, but it's around the same timeline
It's
to be
literally the
keeping.
same
Yeah.
timeline. It's just like
Yeah, a rupture is where the tendon, it's like it's severed. The tendon is basically severed, it's detached, and it requires a different type of repair because it's like I said, it's severed. And a tear, you still may have parts of that ligament that are that's attached. So it's not a complete rupture. It's not completely severed, but it is torn. And when it's torn, regardless, there's that tissue that is no longer connecting the way it needs to, is no longer attached the way it needs to. So now, when you go to take a step, as you know, um, your bones are like hitting each other, and you can't do it. Now you don't have that tissue attached in the back that you need to really function properly. So they both take a year, but a rupture is the more severe of the two. Rupture means it's completely severed, and I think it's just a little more dangerous because it's a more complicated procedure. And like you may I don't know this to be full like exact, but I think they have to when it comes to that procedure, they have to incorporate more things to uh like repair it. And now instead of adding like for the tear, since some of it is attached, there are things that they can do in the procedure to where, hey, you still have your natural tissue. I think when it comes to a rupture, they have to add some like fake or some type of substance to try to actually replace it. And now you're walking around with something that's not actually a natural part of your body. So it makes it a more complicated procedure and a more um, influx recovery. But I think they do take around the same time. But yeah, rupture is definitely worse. It's just a complete tear, like a complete sever of the tissue.
Good context, Wes. Good context. Thank you for that. Sly, I don't know why you always being so extra and aggressive, man.
I mean, and that also like it's a simple Google because they're 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 used interchangeably, but rupture is complete severing of the tendons. Like Google that. Somebody's echoing, but yeah, Google that, Sly. Nigga, you killing me, boy.
Sly be tweaking. Sly really be tweaking. I ain't gonna
so. I'm
lie.
looking at some numbers right here. Achilles tears, they're on the uprise. Like Boogie, if you look at the last 20 Achilles tears, I'm looking at it right here. Before Tatum and everybody, this goes back to this is a 2019 post. So you had Boogie, you got Rudy Gay, Wesley Matthews, Kobe, Chauncey, Elton Brand, Dominique. Since 92 to 2017, it was less than like 10. Like this was a freak injury. This goes to the pace and the way today's game is being played. Like the game is so fast. Shit like this is more common, which is unfortunate for players. But this, I feel like we got to go in a deeper conversation why players are having career altering injuries earlier in their career. Nigga, this was an old man injury viewed as like 35 plus type injury. wear and tear on the Achilles tendon. This guy had this much mileage on his legs. You know what I mean? Maybe it's AAU. Maybe it's these the way they're playing, like the young players, because they might be 28, but they had damn near the same mileage these older players had later in their career. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro.
I
Yeah,
heard you.
nah, I think there's something to that. The thing with like basketball and the way people are approaching youth sports now, I think it more has to do with that than the NBA itself. I know my good friend Ash last night felt like a lot of this came back to Silver, and he felt like Adam is a big part of the reason, and a big cause for everything that's happening because he's pushed this fast pace play and just basically just changed the game and made it to where it's not your conventional style of basketball. He thinks the game is too fast now, too up and down. And when you're playing at this pace, this rate, it's like, yo, well, you got to shorten the games at this point. You can't have this style of play. But I mean, in fairness, we've had worse technology and people have played, and we've had like in the history of the game, there has been a time where there was a faster pace. Now, granted, it's different because there aren't as many moves into it. You're just running basically up and down, like straight. Players weren't doing as much, couldn't do as much. But I think it's I think it's a little unfair to Adam Silver to be like, yo, this kind of falls on you, especially when, hey, two of these things happen after calf strains. You're not supposed to play on the calf strain. You aren't supposed to risk it. You're supposed to take time to fully recover. Guys chose not to do that. In Dame's case, not only did he deal with a calf strain, he also had blood clots. So Dame legitimately, it just seemed like his body had said, and Dame is old, by the way. Like Dame is the example that Tween spoke about. He's a guy who's played over a decade in the league, has played over 10,000 minutes of NBA basketball. He's put in a lot of time, and I think his body just said, yo, we've had enough. For Tatum and Hallie, it's unfortunate. Tatum's just out of nowhere exploded. And, prayers to him. You hope everything pans out for him. And it's no real rhyme or reason. We don't know why it happened. For Hallie, though, there was an injury around there. And we know how that injury goes. You can't, with a calf strain, you just aren't supposed to risk it. He did. Aaron Gordon did as well. When Aaron Gordon played, fortunately for Aaron Gordon, I think his strain was so severe he could barely, like, you could see how gimpy he was on the court. So I think it kept him from even being able to try to explode in the same way, in the same facet. In the case of Hallie and KD, when they had theirs, when they came back, they were still spry enough to still try to explode off their foot the same way. And unfortunately, it ended up costing them in the end. But I don't know. I think it's kind of unfair to Adam and unfair to the game because there are way more players who aren't doing it. Like, yeah, it's a rise, but still, when we talk about three guys in this playoffs, I think 10 in the season compared to the 450 players who are playing, is that enough to completely change everything? I say no. What say you all?
This kind of reminds me of, well, not reminds me, but this kind of is very similar to pitchers and how they get elbow soreness. Normally they shut them down 15 days, let them come back. If you pitch with elbow soreness, you're very close to Tommy John. This is a very similar case, in my opinion. This is also, well, not also with football. I was going to say concussions, but it's not really. But that's the closest thing it reminds me of is if you're a pitcher, you have that elbow soreness, you shut them down. Doesn't matter what the case is, what scenario you're in, you shut them down. You don't let them play. That's what the NBA, that's what teams need to start doing, not just Adam Silver. Medical personnel within teams should have identified this and should have said, listen, we get it. It's the NBA Finals. I know you want to play. But you can't because you're risking long term. You're risking long term for not only the team, but yourself. We don't know if Tyrese Halliburton's going to be the same guy. Everybody think, oh, KD came back. KD a generational athlete, man. I don't want to praise him too much, but he's a generational guy to where he made that shit look like it was nothing. He came back. He's still the same guy. I don't know if these guys, maybe Tatum. I don't know if Tyrese going to be the same guy. So I don't know. This is a career-altering injury, and this is more on the team personnel itself for them to address. This is not an Adam Silver problem. This is not a NBA as a whole problem. This is an internal team problem that teams itself need to start identifying, and they need to start creating a problem for or creating a solution for, because that is how they will adjust. So, yeah, teams need to definitely work on it themselves. And during the season next year, during the regular season, if a guy has a calf strain, shut him down completely. Do not bring him back until he's 100% ready to go. And that is how they should move with this.
Well said. I agree with everything you just said as well. And everything y'all been saying throughout the day today. And it was an amazing show. I want to thank all y'all for coming through today. Shout out to OKC for being champions. Shout out to the Rockets for what's to come for them to get Kevin Durant. And everybody that's in here. We are back tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the NBA draft either today, tomorrow, or Wednesday. We're going to continue to pick up NFL talks and the playback room. Baseball, I think the first game starts in 4 hours. I'll probably be popping in and watching baseball throughout, as I don't got nothing to watch right now. There's no WNBA today. So I'm probably going to have a Netflix day. It's 90-something, like 77 degrees in the DMV today. So I'll be in the crib chilling, probably watching Netflix or something like that until I probably tap into a baseball game. So everybody, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber already on YouTube. Make sure y'all follow on Twitch if you're not a follower on Twitch already. And thank y'all for all the support always. And I'm definitely looking forward to talking to y'all tomorrow. Peace, blessings, and love, y'all.